You know, I never had a honey mustard Pringles until like 2 days ago.
Really?
So
I've
what's your
had a lot
thing?
of different types of Pringles, but I never, it never, I was never inclined to just grab the honey mustard Pringles. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah,
never
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, ooh, these
Right.
specific ones. And this Rivals player was tweeting about them, trying to get sponsored by Pringles pretty much. Tweeting about honey mustard Pringles, man, how good they were. How the best Pringle, there's no Pringle that even comes close. So I went to the grocery store and I saw them right there in the front. They were even in the middle. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get them. So I tweeted at him. And I'm going to tweet back at him with an update today. But they're fire. They're very
Okay.
good.
Okay.
They're very good Pringles. I was surprised. I like honey mustard, but I didn't think I'd like it on a chip.
Yo, did you ever get that Hungry Howie's?
No, we haven't been out to eat anywhere.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we haven't been out to eat anywhere, man. I'm down 10 pounds.
That's good, man.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but yeah, we haven't been out to eat anywhere. Just because we're trying to get out of this apartment as soon as possible.
I got you.
You gotta say that, but yeah, baby.
I need a yard. I've had Also, dogs in apartments just ain't a good mix with me. I hate it.
I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Now, where the hell? Yo, where my chat? Oh, there it is. It's like, what's taking so long for my chat? Appreciate that.
Almost 2 years. I've been subbing you a whole year.
Time flies, man.
And go ahead and hit this mute button on the tab. There we go. Make sure I get that set up now.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to do the thing. You wanted the turbo, right? Instead of I remember what you were saying last time. You want turbo instead of the sub?
Nah, I got you. Building that Discord community comes first right now, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, you
Talking to you,
you talking
bro.
about me?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to do Discord?
No.
instead of
I'm
Discord?
asking you.
That's what you asked. You said you prefer.
You wanted that instead of the
Oh
sub.
yeah, I
Okay.
prefer people to boost my server.
Okay.
You can boost my server if you have Discord Nitro already. So that's just up to people who are already paying for Discord Nitro. I'm just saying, throw your boost my way.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that instead of doing that. I mean, that's fine. That's no issue. I just wanted to make sure.
Boosting my server is what I'm trying to do right now.
Word.
Sure.
All right, I got you. But I do appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. It's crazy when I think about it. I'm like, it is almost March, man. It's been almost 2 years since
Right.
I hit
Since-
Go Live Buddy for the first time.
And since Mars was just like, hey, we found this guy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we found this dude. He's using our team tag.
This guy.
We gotta definitely make it a thing when somebody in the group goes partner. Definitely gotta make it a
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
100%.
For sure. I've been on Legends of Runeterra so heavy, man. Oh my gosh. I knew when I had open access to it, like, because the closed beta, of course, I get like a day or two to play. And I spend as much time as I can, but now that I've had it for a full week, man, like, and it encourages you to play every day, like, but it doesn't encourage you to play for long periods of time unless you're spending money, because you stop getting experience. Even for like wins, you only get like maybe 25, 50 experience after you play for a long time in one day. but every day it resets, and you can get like big rewards every day. It's like missions and stuff you can complete. So you get a lot of cards. All you got to do is play. But man, I've been on it every day.
You prefer that over team fight?
Of course, I always have, just because I have a higher degree of control over what's going on.
Okay.
Because I build my deck. Like, it's my deck versus your deck. It's not.
The RNG is manageable.
It's just what you draw. That's what you pull.
Yeah.
And that's,
like, you get a bad draw, you can throw that up. You know, but like complete utter RNG is just destroying sometimes. You know.
Yeah, in the game, like, I can respect a good deck by somebody, not somebody just like cheesing me out because they got good items. Like, so it's different for me with Legends of Runeterra, and there's so much variety, and it's so much more appealing for more people that are in my community. Even like people play TFT, but people like play Legends of Runeterra.
Right.
So it's just like it's way more enjoyable as a group. ADJ plays it, Tej plays it, Matt plays it, Bryant plays, I play. So there's just quite a few of us. Yeah, we all run something different. Like Shameless plays too. Like none of us run the same deck. So, but yeah, I think the game's worth a shot. It's free, so I mean you have nothing to lose.
Right. I mean that's up Sleep's alley. He's the Yu-Gi-Oh in the group pretty much.
Yeah, like I said,
if you like Magic, this is like a watered down version. Yeah, I was about to say it's a watered down version, but I mess with it. Like I get it. It's watered down.
All right, I've already played it. I like the fact that it's got, like most digital card games are doing now, they're getting rid of the biggest problem that Magic Gathering had, which is being mana screwed. Like sometimes you either have a hand with just full of mana, or you have a hand with no mana, and it's like that's the worst feeling ever when all you have is mana, or you have all the cards you need but no mana comes. Like
you get mana on both the turns. That's the best.
So I understand why they're doing that. Like, and I played the game during the closed and the open beta, and I did enjoy it very much. It's just I've been on this hard Shadowverse kick due to this last update.
Oh, okay.
The last update they put out with the last set, Ultimate Coliseum, I've been really enjoying it. The game, people complain about Room all the time in that game. If you're not a Room main, you hate Room. It's a meme at this point almost to me. But this has been some of the most diverse competition I've seen in this game in a long time. Shadow has a viable deck. Dragon has a viable deck. The only deck type that wasn't really that great, in my opinion, was the Havencraft deck, which is fine because Havencraft, it's not that it's like it's a D tier deck. It's an A tier surrounded with, but there's like 5 S tier decks now instead of there just being 2. Like there's like 5 decks that if you're not prepared for them, they can just run you over. But since it's 5 of them, not just 2, you're seeing variety, and then depending on which ones are matched up with which, they just come out on top of the other one. So you have to outplay somebody if they have the deck that you have a bad matchup with. You can't just copy the top tier deck, 1 or 2 top tier decks, and then just coast through anymore. You can't just sell your old deck to make the new top tier deck and then just have that carry you. You actually have to know how to pilot the deck and be good at the game. And I was just really enjoying that because, you know, typically it's like 2 top tier decks and that's it in card games, you know?
Right.
There's like 2 top tier decks, and then there's like 1 anti-meta deck that somehow works because somebody figured out the tech behind how to counter the top 2 decks, or at least one of them really, really strongly. But nah, man, like it's just been really, really fun. I think Runeterra is really, really fun as well, but I think most of the fun is coming from just the fact that it's brand new and it's discovery. Because it's only been out for a little bit, people still find the tech. And just like MMOs, fighting games, like the first few months of it is the most exciting part because that's what everybody's trying to figure out everything, and like every week or 2 there's something new, you know?
Right.
That's the hypest part of any game, is like the discovery period.
Right. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. What's going on, people? We are back with another episode of the Top Cast. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome back, episode 8. Just chugging along. With me are my two guests, Nella Trey and Sleepy Boy 86. Gentlemen, happy Us Month for those of you that aren't aware. How was your weekend? How y'all doing? Doing all right? I hope everything is well with y'all.
I'm chilling, man. I'm doing good. But yeah, how y'all doing, Nella Trey? I hope y'all are doing well today. I've been doing good. I've just been under a rock. Just been working.
Word.
Sweet. And I'm probably about to start doing the same thing Nella is doing. So I hope to see y'all around a little bit more, but I don't know.
Well, I'm sure everybody's been looking forward to this episode because of the news that came out from Bioware. So we'll save that for last, but we got to get through some stuff first. But a little bit of house cleaning. You guys said your weekend was good. Anything going on in your worlds, FGC wise, or anything like that?
Nella, you got some stuff you going on in your circle, so you go ahead and start off, right?
Well, one thing I can talk about is one thing with Rivals of Ether. It's pretty interesting. Zero started playing yesterday. He tweeted that he got the game because it was on sale for it's on sale for $10 on Humble Bundle right now. So Zero was like, I'm gonna play it for the first time, and then he updated. He was like, oh, I didn't know you can move like this in this game. And then he made his way to the workshop characters, which is just nonsense everywhere. But they have 100% accurate Melee Fox in there. And 100% accurate Melee Fox is broken, super broken in Rivals. So when you play him, he's pretty much a meme character. But Zero got to play him. He was, oh my god, I love this game so much. So people were just like, yeah, Zero, play me in this, play me in this. But it was just like what I was telling people a couple of months ago when I said I think this year is going to be big for this game. First, the viewership for it at Genesis was over 10,000 viewers, which is crazy for a game with a community that small. And then now Zero's playing the game. There are a couple of other players that have started to get interested in the game. So I was like, it's good for Rivals, good for that small community. I guess our small community. I'm a part of it at this point. Yeah, that's one of the FGC things that's going on. We can me and Sleepy can ping pong.
All right. Well then, I don't know if you're into anime games and whatnot, but Grand Blue dropped and it's been insane.
Oh man, I am.
Okay, well, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus dropped, and that game has been having so much attention on it, and it's so fun to just watch, even because the characters have a little bit of detail put into things, like just the interactions between the characters in the match. Like
I played the closed beta.
It's
I got
fun.
a key from Team Spooky. I got a quiz. There was a Twitter quiz. I got one of the questions right. And I got a key because Team Spooky was like, I'm passing out keys to the closed beta for Grand Blue. I was like, I've been wanting to get on this. And I was just answering questions. I was too late on a few of them where I just didn't know the answer. And one, I knew the answer and I got it. And I was like, so I played and I was like, yo, Lancelot is my guy. And I was making fun of Tez because he was playing Gran. I was like, all these characters in this game and you pick Gran.
Hey man, some people like Ryu, man. No matter what game.
Some people like vanilla, yeah.
Some people love
vanilla cat.
Somebody out there is like, yo, I don't want the cool ninja dude. I don't want the punk chick with the whip. Nah, I want karate guy. So that's
Tez
just
goes to the fanciest French restaurant on the planet and is like, let me get a cheeseburger.
But yeah, that game cheeseburger everywhere on Twitch. Everybody's playing it. It's some people are even saying it's like the best introductory for people who play like traditional 2D fighters into the world of anime.
After playing it, I think that everybody that likes it, even likes fighting games or it's even interested in them, should start. If they haven't touched them or picked them up yet, start with Grand Blue. Grand Blue is simple, but it's hard to master. But it's very easy for They did it right, where they made it easy for casuals to pick it up and enjoy the game. It's very fun to look at as well. I think that's important with a fighting game that they want to appeal to casuals. It's very fun to look at, and it's not hard to play. It's just hard to master the intricacies of the game.
Yeah, especially if you're one of those
certain
people
characters.
who tried out Dragon Ball Fighters and then got like turned off immediately by how daunting it was to learn 3 characters and then how to use their assists. This game's got all the visual flair and great representation of Dragon Ball, but it's one character, and the tutorial system in it is amazing. It's even got an RPG mode tied into the story. Grand Blue's awesome. It's probably going to be the best new fighting game to come out this year.
That's why I already knew it was going to be at Evo. I knew. But we can segue into that, actually. The Evo lineup announcement. Because that was a big announcement, man. That was a huge announcement.
I just want to point out, during the Evo announcement, every year, this time around, they come out and announce what fighting games are going to be played at Evo for people who are not in the know about fighting games and the MVC and all that. And it's pretty much the biggest tournament for
mainstream tournament.
Yeah, it's the biggest mainstream tournament for pretty much every fighting game out there that is like major. Like there's smaller ones that have side tournaments at Evo, but as far as like if you're not playing like Smash type in that type of fighter, this is your big tournament right here. If you're playing like Dragon Ball, Street Fighter, Tekken, any of that, this is your big tournament. That's not like that game's individual championship. But
it depends on who we're talking about. But that's like old heads versus young people, really, with Combo Breaker.
Okay, I can see how you can
some
like
people like they consider
CEO
that like
all that, but
well, not CEO as much, but a lot of people consider Combo Breaker like the tippy, like the Kumite, like the tippy top of the underground fighters tournament. That's why they still have stuff like Ninja Turtle tournaments there. But then you have Evo where it gets the most media coverage. And like, in my opinion, that's the biggest one because it gets the most media coverage.
Well, all right, I can understand that, but it gets the most media coverage because Evo is like the granddaddy of them all, and it's been around forever. And it's the first tournament that I could think of where I know of where there's footage of people coming from Japan to America to play on them old ass CRTs. And there's a dude holding the video. There's a dude holding a video camera, pointing it at the TV.
Oh yeah, it all started with Evo for sure.
Footage of Justin Wong parrying Daigo, like stuff like that. Like that's how old and how much prestige it has in the, it's the granddaddy. But all that to the side, Evo's a big ass tournament, and they had an announcement this year saying that they're going to bring back Marvel 2 for this year's tournament.
What, Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And if you're an old head in the fighting game world,
that's on the main lineup. That's not a side game.
That's all you saw.
That's on the main lineup.
It's in the main lineup, and a lot of the younger players are like, whatever, like it's not Dragon Ball or whatever, but like the older people is like, how dare you? Like
pretty much. It was like they
came to win the champions. Dragon Ball. Like it was almost like all the old heads became boomers instantly right there. Because like I'm telling myself I got offended when I saw people attacking Marvel vs. Capcom 2's intro. I'm like, you don't deserve Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Me, man, where that fish is turned around at the table, like looking like that. He's looking back in the Krusty Krab. That's how I was as soon as I saw them talking smack about Marvel. I was mad. I was like, yeah, no, you need to relax. You don't understand how big a deal this is. They announced Marvel.
I'm right back. I'm going to find something.
Yep.
What do you think, man? But yeah, the fact that they announced Marvel in 2020 was crazy to me. And then the other big deal that people were complaining about was that the big one was that Mortal Kombat 11 is not going to be at Evo.
Is that the current one?
For 1 year, yeah.
Okay.
It was there for 1 year, and that's it. Like it's not going to be there again.
Wasn't that the one that everybody liked though?
I mean, it's the most popular, and NetherRealm Studios has taken a pretty big role in the broadcasting of their game and the running of the tournaments in general. So that's probably why it's not at Evo. It's a lot of politics.
Okay.
And NetherRealm Studios and Evo have never played well together. They just did it because of Evo, but it looks like NetherRealm Studios has been taking a lot more control of like their events, of any Mortal Kombat event. So That's probably what's coming. They're probably coming out with their own circuit or their own tournament line, like Dragon Ball did. Dragon Ball's going to be at Evo, but Dragon Ball Fighters just finished their world tour in Paris. Like they were in Spain, Paris, all types. It was a world tour where they went and competed, all the top players. But it's still going to be at Evo. It's just weird with NetherRealm and Evo.
Right.
Let me see.
And didn't they had Joker in this one, right? Because I think I saw
Joker just came out.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't crazy. I was like, I heard something about Joker being in Mortal Kombat. I was like, oh, that's interesting, because it kind of reminded me of Injustice. It's just like, oh, so we're just.
I mean, NetherRealm Studios did do Injustice. So,
right.
I mean, they probably were already in DC's good graces. And DC's on the come up right now anyway with their movies and whatnot. So this is a perfect time to drop Joker in a video game.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, it makes 100% sense. And Joker's always going to be a popular villain / character, however you want to portray it. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon unless they just butcher a movie. Which I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Somebody says something funny. I'll say it off stream, but I'll tell y'all in a minute. I'll tell you off stream.
Okay.
It was pretty funny about Joker.
Okay.
Speaking of Joker, what was I about to say? Oh, where was I going with this? Oh, so Birds of Prey, the movie.
Oh, oh my gosh. Yo.
So Birds of Prey has been the point of a lot of arguments on Twitter that I've seen lately and Facebook. And this is what I'll say to it all. Like, and it's not even a big spiel. I didn't even know the movie was out.
Right.
Like, I don't really care. I really could not care less if it's a male or female lead.
Right.
But I didn't know the movie was out. What type of promotion were they doing? I didn't even know it was a thing. Right. Also, Harley Quinn ain't part of the Birds of Prey. Like, it was just, as soon as I saw that it was a thing, I was like, Birds of Prey movie, like DC Birds of Prey? And then I saw Harley Quinn and I was like, wait a minute. So I got to talk to my wife about the full details because she knows way more about Harley Quinn than I do. But she also didn't know about the movie.
Right.
Like, so it had nothing to do. Like, I was just like, I kept seeing nothing but y'all are mad as a female lead. I'm like, no, Wonder Woman was fire.
Right.
Kill Bill was fire.
Right.
I haven't even seen the movie, but it sounds like it's bad. I was like, but this whatever. We'll see it. I'm going to wind up seeing it.
Apparently, it's so bad that they're changing the name of it. From what I've been seeing.
Yeah, they changed it to Harley Quinn.
It's like
they just changed the name to Harley Quinn. I'm like, wow. I was like, I haven't seen a movie name change in like, hadn't it been decades since something like that?
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. And they're going the same route as what movie was that? At first they were like, oh, we have a bad opening because no males want to watch the movie or whatever. They did the same.
Ghostbusters? Was that Ghostbusters?
Was it No. It was something recent. Maybe Sleep may know. Sleep. What was the last movie that they blamed males for not going to see that did bad at the box office? It was recent.
Right now,
it was recent.
Birds of Prey, but
no, we're talking about the one that was right before Birds of Prey.
Yeah, right before that.
Maybe it was Little Women.
Was it?
So if you talk about the one that just didn't get nominated at the
no, they had a bad opening and they were like, oh, no male went to go see it, so that's why they tried to blame it on the male population. It was recent. I have to look it up.
Stuff here, like you see how I just named like two things off the top of my head in the last week. Like
they can get out of here with that. Magic Mike did just fine. All right, and I guarantee you, it wasn't the males like pushing those box office numbers.
Right.
Well, Birds of Prey, I don't think it's doing bad because dude's not watching it. I don't think it's doing bad because they changed it.
We're talking about this right before you got back. It was just weird. I told him I didn't know the movie was a thing until I saw people complaining about it. I was like, what type of promotion were they doing?
Like, I found out last week that it was coming out. I was like, oh.
Well, all right. So they've been doing advertising for a bit and whatnot. Like I saw commercials leading up to it. Now I didn't know what the release date was, but I knew that they've been advertising. You've been seeing commercials here and there for just Harley Quinn walking around doing stuff and talking about how she broke up with the Joker and whatnot. But I don't think that's it, man. I just think right now people just like kind of just over the superhero hype right now, especially in the DC side. Like on the Marvel side, at least you know it's gonna stick around. We don't even know if you're gonna keep the same universe right now, DC.
Right.
Like I have no interest. I've not seen a DC movie since like the Superman one. You know, not even Batman v Superman, like just regular ass Superman. I ain't seen.
Movie, I always try to put that movie out of my mind, yo.
Yeah, and like I'm a huge comic book person. Tack knows this, but like if I have no idea if you're gonna stick around, I might as well just stick to watching the DC TV shows. At least they cohesive, make sense, and I enjoy them. Like the movies, like I have zero faith that y'all gonna keep half the stuff you got going forward. The Joker movie only worked because one is Joker, and two, it was a standalone thing on its own, separate from the rest of the DC universe. So people didn't have to watch anything else to know anything else. And then there's also the fact that, you know, white dudes like watching other white dudes get pissed off and shoot people.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say off stream, Tack, about Joker.
Okay.
But he went ahead and put it out there. I was gonna say Joker.
Well, the reason I said
that's white people's Black Panther, yo. Like that's the truth.
I say it like that because I'm not the only one to say that. There's even SNL even did a skit about it.
No, it really is. Like he said, Black Panther.
It's called White Male Rage.
Yeah, it's that's why it's
literally just all the movies in that one that got nominated for this, that, and the other over in the Oscars. Like half of them were dedicated to white guys getting pissed off and then raging and doing shit.
Why do you think Eminem is so popular? That's off subject. That's off topic. Let's stay.
Yeah, Red Wolf, you hit the nail on the head right there. Like DC's biggest issue is their animated movies are more cohesive and even standalone make more sense and better adapt to the medium than their actual films do. And I think
Justice League War was so good.
Yep.
I think the problem that they're having is one, they don't use the same writers because they think it's animated. They can use the same guys for cartoons or whatever we're gonna get. But whenever we go to the feature film, we have to get these big budget guys that are only gonna take X amount of money, and then we have to get these big name actors that are gonna take.
That's the same reason they don't use the TV show actors.
You don't have to do half that. Like I still say to this day, and I'm almost certain that it will work. If they want to do a reboot in DC's movie universe, all they had to do was during this Flash movie that they're still in development hell on, just do a hint of Flashpoint.
I'm scared.
You don't have to do the whole thing. Just do a little bit.
Flashpoint's too confusing to do to start people off.
That's why I say you don't have to do the whole thing.
Even a bit of it is confusing. Like for anybody that doesn't read or watch The Flash, you got to think about it. That's gonna because they got to sell tickets to people who don't normally read comics as well. And I think Flashpoint would be way too heavy for people who don't read comics. Like that would be a hard plot for them to follow.
If you go into the full ramifications of it, yes, but this is what you do. You seriously just have one section at the end when he's fighting the big bad guy, where for a split second, Barry Allen touches the Speed Force. Every single time they've done that, when they do the beginning of Barry Allen's time frame in the Flash throughout the many DC reboots they've had over the years, whenever he took the Speed Force without knowing, something bad happens. He doesn't have to actually. They can say he accidentally traveled through time right there and did something. They don't have to show him do anything. They don't have to spend 40 minutes of the movie with him traveling through time doing stuff. They don't have to do any of that. Just say he accidentally affected the timeline by touching the Speed Force without realizing what he was doing. And it changed
time travel is just, it's hard to do. Like initially, you got to get people warmed up for it first. Mm-hmm. Like they did that with Avengers. They did that even with the show Flash. He didn't time travel for a minute. That was a finale. That was a season finale.
Yeah, like, but you don't have time to build up to that in the movies. But the thing is, you can use the TV
with the Flash, he doesn't have to time travel for the first movie's climax. We want to see him get to Flash. He didn't start out as the fastest man alive. There were other speedsters that were faster than him. Like I would rather see him get built up to being able to to the time travel thing. At the end of the movie, I'd be okay with it, but I'd rather him just run fast, access the Speed Force, see the multiverse. That's the best way they can handle introducing you to the fact that he can see all of this type of stuff and can do this type of stuff.
So essentially,
for him to be able to see the multiverse.
So
it's just like, okay, he sees Flashpoint, but nothing really happens with it.
So a 3-movie series, essentially.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Is like all you gotta do is introduce the idea that he could touch the Speed Force somehow, some way, and then you can see timelines. You don't have to actually change anything. You just show that the possibility is there at the end of the first movie when he's fighting against the first big bad guy or whatever. And now you instantly put the idea in people's head that the Speed Force is going to be shown in the next one and that there could possibly be some kind of time travel involved. You didn't do any time travel in the first movie, but you hinted at it. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I just think Flash in general is going to be hard to do. I'm a big Flash fan, and I'm very scared of what they could do to make this movie bad. Like, I'm like, Flash is my second favorite DC hero, and I really don't want them to screw this up.
They're gonna screw it up. You can't
want them to screw this up.
You can't put Flash in a movie for the same reason you can't put Quicksilver in a movie. What happened when they put Quicksilver in the Marvel in the X-Men movies? People started asking all the time, why didn't they just have Quicksilver do this? Why didn't Quicksilver just fix that? Why didn't Quicksilver just solve this? Like, I know
liked the show The Flash at the beginning. Well, the first couple of seasons, like, I was like, if they had a bigger budget, I'd be okay with this. I'd be 100% okay with this in a movie never coming out. If he had a better suit and they had a bigger budget.
Well, his suit and budget has improved every season.
Because they realized
that show basically became the second biggest show in the Arrowverse behind Arrow itself. And toward the end, it surpassed Arrow. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that's why Arrow went off the air. They're like, Arrow's like, no. All right, so have you watched the last season?
Of the Arrow? No.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil you or anybody else out there, but if you keep watching one out, you see that, like, yeah, they lean heavy into the idea that Barry Allen and The Flash is the most important show in this universe.
I didn't even like the actor for the Arrow, I didn't like how they portrayed the Arrow, like his voice, all this Batman element shit he had going on. I wasn't feeling it at all. I was like, I have Gotham for this. I was like, I don't need to like see this edginess in the Green Arrow. That's not why I'm watching the Green Arrow.
Well, the Green Arrow comics that sell the best are the ones where he's more like Batman, except for as far as in the
understand.
The hood. Right. So like the Oliver side is still better than the Bruce Wayne side, but I think that's just because comic books has forgotten about Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne almost doesn't even exist anymore. It's always about Batman now.
But that's why I read the detective comics, because it's more about him being a detective. But yeah, it's I know exactly what you're saying.
Like I remember when Batman used to have like dates and he'd be hooking up with this supermodel or super famous actress or whatever, and they would
we're doing a weight session.
Part of the universe.
Now he's just always in his suit, but maybe that's his descent into madness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe he's losing Bruce Wayne and just becoming all Batman.
Like I'm just saying. I remember that, and I think that's one thing that the Green Arrow show gets well. Like, the Green Arrow superhero side is getting a little bit more and more Bruce Batman like, but Oliver Queen is still Oliver Queen. He's still like out there dating like supermodels and stuff like that, compared to just hanging out in his cave all day doing nothing. People still think that Oliver's out there getting drunk and doing drugs on a yacht for like half the show. So it's like, all right, there's more to him than just the guy pretending to be Batman while stabbing people from afar, like with arrows.
I mean, Felicity Smoke kept me on the show for a little bit, but after that, I just wasn't nothing else to hold me.
Right.
I mean, I guess you
kept watching the Flash.
Kept a lot of people on that show.
Yeah, but she like anytime I was mad because they put her like they would focus on her looks more in the Flash than they did in Arrow, and I was like, why are y'all changing how she like? I was like, why are y'all changing like all of this different stuff for different shows? I was like, why don't y'all just keep her consistent throughout both? It would make more sense. Because they kept pushing it. I'm like, she's wearing all these dresses and going out to the clubs and stuff when she goes to see Barry. I was like, don't push it like a relationship would start and then not do it.
Mm-hmm.
and then have her be completely different in the Arrow. That was the only issue I had with Felicity.
Well, they do that
I
all
think
the
a lot
time.
of people slept on Gotham too. Like I thought Gotham was good, and a lot of people had issues with it. But I was like, I think y'all just wanted Batman the prequel. And that's not what Gotham was supposed to be.
Yep.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a story about. Gotham was supposed to be a show about the stories of the city, not Batman, just Gordon, the city of Gotham. And Jim Gordon, at that point in time, was way more a part of Gotham's stories than Batman or Bruce Wayne was. He was a kid. Like, what the hell is he? He ain't doing nothing yet. It's just. It is what it
also,
is.
The dude that played the Joker did an incredible job.
Talking about the Joker movie?
Killed it. No.
Oh, in Gotham. Okay, I got you.
He you see someone is basically going to become the Joker,
right?
Like, and you see him becoming the Joker. You see him lose his mind, and all that type of stuff. And since Joker doesn't really have a backstory that's canon, they just kind of were free to write what they wanted. But they did it. They handled it well. And the person that played him, I don't know if y'all watched the show Shameless. The dude that plays Ian.
Okay.
He played the Joker, and he did a crazy good job.
Okay.
He did, there's a scene. There's just one scene you can look up on YouTube. I'll drop a link in the chat later.
Okay.
And it's really good. Even Mark Hamill told him he did a good job.
And
that's about the highest praise.
Yeah, right
there. Mark Hamill was he said your laugh is good. He said the look on your face was good. He was everything. He praised him.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you gotta
don't get no better than that,
right?
Mark Hamill was in The Flash too. He played the trickster.
Oh yeah, I know. It's hilarious. It's awesome. He plays the trickster in the animated universe as well.
Yeah, too. I thought that was funny.
And the trickster even looks like Mark Hamill in the animated universe. It's hilarious.
I'll have to watch that. I don't think I've seen that one. The animated that you're referring to, but that's good.
In the animated universe, when he plays Trickster, you have seen, you probably just don't remember because I'm pretty sure you watched the Justice League cartoon.
Of course, yeah.
So and there's the episode in there, and I'll stop with the comic book after this. But it's one of my favorite Flash moments in history, and Flash is getting a Flash Day dedication to him in his city, and so he asked Batman to show up. Batman says fine, he's going, but then bad guys, of course, trying to ruin the Flash's day.
Right.
They go to a bar to get information. So they go to a bad guy bar. They walk in, and Batman is sitting there trying to threaten the trickster to get information about the rogues on. And he's like, I ain't telling you nothing. Flash is like, whoa, calm down. You don't have to do all that. It's like, hey, sits him down. It's like, yo, man, you forgot to take your meds. It's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're wearing the suit again. He's like, no, I'm not. He's like, yeah, you are. Look. And he looks. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. But I don't need the meds. I feel I'm better without them. He's like, no, that's not how medicine works. He's like, I'll take it if I need it. No, tell you what. You take you go back and take the medicine, and I'll come back and we'll play darts. The soft kind. And he's like, you promise? He's like, have I ever lied to you? He said, yay, you win again, Flash. Batman and Orion are looking like, are you fucking shitting me right now? Flash's like, all right, let's leave. They're like, what about the bad guy? Flash's like, dude, turn yourself in when you're done with your beer. He's like, all right, Flash. Doesn't even have to fight the bad guy to know how to defeat the bad guy because he just knows his people like that. Nobody else in the DC universe can do that kind of stuff. Even Batman makes a comment that only the Flash can do some shit like that.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, it's about right. It's Barry Allen for you.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's funny because it's the guy who played Lex Luthor in Smallville.
Okay.
Michael Rosenbaum. He's the guy who plays the Flash in that TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you have Lex Luthor having a conversation with the Joker, but they're both playing other people in that one, and so that's another little inside universe joke that they did. And DC. It just proves that DC's animated universe is way better than their.
I think that's always been the thing, though. But I mean, I guess one day.
Bad. I've enjoyed their television. I won't say it's great television, but I've been enjoying it.
Yes, I have Red Wolf, and it's freaking hilarious.
Also, if anybody has, the DC website deets, the info or something, let them holler at me. Let me know.
They got some good shows on there, man.
Oh man. Well, yeah.
I had to choose between that and Disney Plus, and I have Disney Plus.
No, I get you, man.
I just finished Spider-Man the '90s animated series.
Oh, how did you like that?
Well, I've watched it before like 3 different times, but my wife is watching it for the first time. She wasn't a big fan of Spider-Man when we met, but she saw I had like this massive, like I have a comic book cover in the other room of Spider-Man, and it's my biggest painting like in this house. So she was like, "You really like Spider-Man?" I was like, "She's like, I don't like Spider-Man. I think he's lame." And I was that was the problem. That was a big problem. I was like, "Hey, that's damn near a deal breaker. We got to talk." That's my favorite superhero of all time. So I was like, "I think you were exposed to Spider-Man at the wrong time." I was like, "What was the first Spider-Man thing you saw?" And she was like, "The Amazing Spider-Man movie."
Yeah, that'll do it to me.
Yeah.
I was like, "We gotta talk." So I was like, "All right." So I sat her down when we got Disney Plus and was like, "Let's watch the series." So she's watching and she really likes it. And she's like seeing stuff with Madam Web and the Secret Wars.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's like, Spider-Man is really way more important in the Marvel universe than I thought. I was like, "Yo, I'm trying to tell you." I was like, she's like, "He's a lot stronger than I thought he was too." I was like, "That's why I got so excited when you saw me get pumped for Civil War when he caught the Winter Soldier's hand like it wasn't nothing. He's like, "You got a metal arm?"
That's so cool. Yeah.
It's awesome, dude. He's just holding it. And he's looking at him like, "Who is this kid?" I was like, "He's supposed to be that strong." I was like, "That's why I didn't understand in other movies why they made him seem like he was just like barely super strength, like he was just Captain America level super strength."
Right.
It was silly to me. He did stop a train in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
But yeah. She's like, okay, Spider-Man's a lot cooler than I thought. He's not my favorite. She's like, I can definitely see why people like him as much as they do.
There's a reason why Marvel keep making him do the Jesus pose in every movie. Like look at every Spider-Man series has one moment where Spider-Man is sitting there and
he's doing the Titanic or the every time he's doing the T pose.
Yeah. And I'm like, Spider-Man is the ultimate Marvel superhero. He T-poses to assert dominance, man. Like,
it's because he's relatable. Like, he go through normal struggles.
Right.
He go through regular people's struggles.
Well, that's what he was designed for. That's why he's so damn popular. Because Spider-Man was made to appeal to kids. Because, like, I mean, every comic book before that was like some grown-ass man wearing spandex fighting Nazis or something like that before, you know? Spider-Man had to fight bad guys robbing banks, but at the same time, he had homework and he had to make it home before dark, you know?
High school.
Right. I mean,
like, you can relate to that.
And it's just cool that she's watching that. I think my favorite part of that whole '90s thing was when he was going through the mutation, and he started getting he started getting like the 6 arms and turned into the man spider.
Turned into man spider.
Yeah, that jump was so fire.
And then Morbius, and that's why I told her, I was like, if you want to know any more about the Morbius movie without having to read a comic, I was like, watch the Morbius arc in Spider-Man. I was like, Morbius has an entire season in Spider-Man.
Right.
And that was a good way to introduce like other anti-heroes and villains. Like Carnage came in like a wrecking ball.
Oh yeah.
I had forgotten. I've even seen it a few times and I forgot just how big of a threat Carnage was and how hard he came through there. Like Carnage came in so hot, I was just like, no wonder he only had a few episodes. I don't think my stress levels could have handled like 6 or 7.
Yeah, and then that whole team.
They couldn't do the Maximum Carnage storyline in its entirety back then, especially not on regular TV back in the 90s. Like Carnage was too savage for that.
Right.
But even Dormammu and Doctor Strange are in that series.
Right. I think pretty much everybody's in it, right?
Everybody's in it. The Beyonders in it.
Yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man is awesome, Red Wolf. I actually like that one a lot. It's really, really good.
I'm going to watch the ones I haven't seen, which is Ultimate Spider-Man. That's one of them. I've seen all the old school ones. Spider-Man is Amazing Friends, just the old Spider-Man. Spider-Man in the 1990s one.
Oh, Spider-Man is Amazing Friends. Is that the one where they hop out the car and it's the 2 Spider-Man pointing?
That's just the classic Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's classic Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends is when he's with Iceman and Firestar.
Okay, yeah. I remember that one now.
What I don't know if you guys watched it. What did you think about, was it 2099? Spider-Man 20, was it 2099 where he had the futuristic where he had a nanite suit or whatever?
I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched it yet? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't seen the show, but I did read the comics, and the comics were pretty interesting. Like at one point, that dude gets Thor's hammer.
Yep.
And which means worthy. And he has it.
So he's worthy.
Yeah, but the cool part is he has Thor's hammer, and he just keeps it on a shelf. It's just chilling there. And he's like, because I could use this any moment, but it's like a break glass in case of emergency type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make me have to get my hammer, pop the trunk. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Oh man, but yeah, Spider-Man has so many iterations, and they've always been pretty well done. Not necessarily the movies, but the animated series have always been really well done when it comes to that character.
Proof that
like in the movies they didn't respect him enough.
Right.
Miles Morales is proof.
Oh yeah, I want them to dive into the Spider-Verse eventually.
They're talking about trying to bring like Garfield and Maguire back for that.
Yeah, like I need a Spider-Verse movie, man. That would make those other movies make a little more sense.
Right.
I think Sony's gonna keep that in their back pocket.
Oh,
because think about it. If Marvel ever I know, but think about it. If Marvel ever pulls on a deal and Spider-Man can't be a part of the Avenger universe anymore, they have to fall back on right now. Depending, Tom Hardy is Venom, and however good this Morbius.
I think this Morbius movie gonna be cold.
I'm hoping that it's awesome. I'm hoping it's awesome. I want every single comic book movie, anime movie to succeed. Like I want them to. I like
this anti-hero route they're taking.
I just want to see Maximum Carnage. I just want to see Maximum Carnage. That's all I'm waiting for.
You know, Woody Harrelson ain't gonna let us.
Oh yeah, I saw Woody Harrelson as Carnage. I was like, oh, I'm in. I'm invested now.
He does entertain really well.
I was like, Clan Cassidy. I was like, that's you. I was like, let's go. I was like, we got it.
I mean, you see Natural Born Killer, so I mean,
right?
He basically it'd be like playing part 2 of that movie, but now in Marvel universe.
Right. I was so hyped. I was like, okay, it's coming. I mean, do you think they're gonna do the Do you think they're gonna do the Venom Spidey? I don't know if I would want to see that, to be honest with you. Like,
so they're going to, if they do a crossover, it really depends. If they do a crossover with Venom and Spidey, at some point he's gonna have to get exposed to the symbiote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's the whole reason. Because the way I saw this, because some people are, oh, Venom, they made him weird. He doesn't have spider powers. I'm like, they can start him like this, and then once the symbiote comes in contact with Peter, he gets his spider powers afterwards.
Right.
Because I do want them to bring into play like the fact that Venom was able to block Spider-Man's spider sense. He could use webbing. His webbing was stronger. He knew how to break Spider-Man's webbing. Like, the reason he was such a problem for Spider-Man is because the symbiote had all of his weaknesses figured out.
Right.
So I want them to play on that. And then, like, I don't need them to make a whole movie of it, though. Like, keep that shit short. Like, I don't need to see emo Peter for a minute.
Right.
Like, Spider-Man 3 really turned me off to that idea for a while. I love the way they did it in the 90s cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was messing up the Rhino because he was working.
Oh, yeah. He almost killed him.
I didn't like, even in the cartoon, though, I didn't like that they had Playboy screaming for Shocker for like eight whole minutes. I'm coming for you, Shocker! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth! Shocker! I was like, yeah, I'm over this. I want to go home. But I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of black suited Spidey. Because that would also tie into why the Secret Wars was a thing.
Right. Like
why the Beyonder contacted him, because that's pretty much Carnage all day long.
Yep.
So they need I think they need to tie it in that way just so they can set themselves up for the Cosmics and all that. And Doctor Doom, like all those people were involved in the Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to see it. But they would have to revive Fantastic Four, unfortunately.
I mean, if they do it right, it can be.
They've done it wrong twice.
But that was Fox, though, wasn't it? Fox? Wasn't it Fox though?
Done it
that
wrong
was
2 times.
Bro, nah, hold on. You can't. Don't unfortunately me with this Fantastic
Marvel's
Four.
First Family.
Yeah, bro. I need a Fantastic Four movie to not suck. I need it.
I want one, but man, they've done it twice. Like X-Men, it's like I really don't need y'all to come out with no more. Like, just it's enough. Y'all done enough.
Yeah.
Like, not to mention we could get Science Bros, Epic Mustache Bros because of this. Like, there's a bunch of in universe Marvel jokes that could happen if we get a proper movie from this. Not to mention Franklin Richards plus X-Men equals fucking just.
I need a Thing and Hulk crossover. Like,
and Marvel has been having a bad guy problem. You know, everybody's been talking about this. Like, Marvel bad guys just they're not good. You know.
Yeah, they usually lack some substance.
If you get Doom, can you imagine? Like, come on.
I've been saying they need to introduce Doom, even if they don't use Fantastic Four. They need to get Doom.
Doom yet? Like, if you get a properly done Doom, you're just
They can introduce Doom in the Black Panther verse. Actually,
they really could. In this next movie,
different ways they can introduce Doom.
His own country. Who could go at him like that?
Yeah, like, but that's like that he at one point he did. Like, that's why I wanted Dr. Doom in there. I think that's one of the greatest villains Marvel has ever seen.
No, I get you, but that's what I'm saying.
Fantastic Four, like, they keep trying, and it's like
the script could be very simple too, like just straight up, like Laverius vibranium gets destroyed. Black Panther goes after the guy who did it. Who the hell's smart enough and powerful enough to blow up all the vibranium? Doom. He goes after Doom. He needs help. Who does he go to? The Fantastic Four. Now you get the Fantastic Four in the Marvel Universe without having to make a Fantastic Four movie and do an origin and all of that shit.
If they do that, they should just do a crossover movie where it's like Black Panther, Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange. Because
wouldn't you need to do Spider-Man?
And they introduced.
Because they showed the tower. They showed the tower in the Spider-Man movie, so he would go to Spidey, and the Spidey would introduce him to the Fantastic Four or something like that. I guess that's how they would
do that and use it as a way just to have Spider-Man be in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I mean, Black Panther,
Spider-Man. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Like Black Panther, he would, you know, he would know who the hell they are. There's no way he wouldn't know. You know.
He doesn't know. He didn't know who Doctor Strange was at all. Like, that's the thing. Doctor Strange's organization is just as secret as Wakanda. For the most part, they're in plain sight, but most people don't know what they actually do. Spider-Man knows because he's like actually been in the Sanctum and spoken.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about for him to meet Doctor Strange. I'm talking about for him to meet the Fantastic Four. Reed Richards holds patents on like he holds patents over most of the shit in the Marvel Universe already. Like, all their suits that don't break somehow, that shit is made with something called unstable molecules in the comics. In the comics, that shit was created and patented by Reed Richards. So there's no way that he wouldn't know where the hell all these superheroes are getting their suits from, you know, at the very least. Then
they have to introduce Reed Richards in general, though, because they'd raise a lot of questions. They'd be like, why didn't Tony Stark know about Reed Richards? Right. Or why didn't blah, blah, blah know about Reed Richards? Why didn't S.H.I.E.L.D. know about Reed Richards?
No, I'm not saying that you say that they don't know. I'm saying that they would all know, but they just didn't have the need to go to the Fantastic Four.
Okay, I see what you mean. Kind of like what they did with Ant-Man.
You know? Like, Ant-Man was there, but like, why the hell did they need him? They didn't. But then he was there. And
I know a guy, essentially.
You know?
Yeah, I know a guy.
Yeah.
We got files on this guy, like something like that.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. knows everybody. So you play it off.
Like, they can always keep playing off of Nick Fury's secrets. Like, he's never going to not have secrets.
Yeah.
So they can always say you just have
think about it, that's exactly how the Marvel Universe got started. Iron Man came out to be a thing. He started making too many waves. And so they said, hey, we're S.H.I.E.L.D. We're here. We know about you. We know all of your shit. Come work for us now.
Well, I think the way they'll probably introduce it is have them work on the sword part of the space station, and then some kind of, you know, how they get the origin movie essentially for the Fantastic Four. They'll be like scientists on sword.
See, that's what I'm saying. I want to avoid that. I do not do another Fantastic Four origin, or you're gonna get stuck in the.
Well, no, not saying the whole thing, but just show like an accident happened, and then they're here or whatever. Then they do a report. Like Nick Fury's like, what's the status? We had these 4 people exposed, whatever, and then you fast forward like a year or whatever, and then they're in the Baxter. I think it's Baxter building, right?
Yeah. I mean, Marvel's managed to do that correctly before. It's possible, because that's why I praise Ant-Man so much, and that's why it's ranked so high on my list compared to other people's. It's one factor about it. It's the fact that I didn't know anything about Ant-Man. I went into this movie, I found out how he got his powers, and still had a full plot for the movie. Because they just throw you in. They don't really take the time to do a lot of talking about the backstory of how he got his powers, but they give you what you need.
Right.
To show you how he got his powers, the backstory. And I think if they did do that with Sword, it wouldn't be too bad. But if they spend too much time on, like you said, if they spend too much time on the backstory on how the Fantastic Four got their powers or their struggle learning to control them, it's gonna be a boring movie.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to get people invested in the characters, and
Right.
there's 4 of them, obviously. So, like every time you watch these old movies, you see them basically go through the process of saying, "This is this person, this is their personality." You get about 10 to 15 minutes of that person doing stuff, so you get an idea of what they're like, and then they shift to the next one, and they do that for all 4 of them. Well, shit, if you do just 10 minutes on each person, that's 40 minutes right there, in an hour and 15 to hour and a half long movie back then. Like that's half the movie on you just getting me each character and how they are before you all of a sudden say, bam, this happens, and now they have powers. And now they're fighting Doom with no real anything on that shit. Like, skip all of that.
If you want to explain, I didn't like the way they portrayed Doom either. I had a lot of issues with that first movie.
Well, yeah, everybody hates their Doom.
Right.
Yeah. But if you want to get into the Fantastic Four and all that shit, look, you did the snap, you had to undo the snap. How about you just say they were in space going through their origin story then when the snap happened, and then when it unoccurred, they were put back there and they got hit with all that energy and they got fucked. That's how they got their powers. It's basically the cosmic radiation story the exact same way, but you already showed when everything happened, it was during the snap. So you just have to have a 5-second clip of that when they're talking about it or explaining it from the SHIELD point of view or whatever. And then, bam, done, move on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they don't have to. They just show the explosion or like tie it into like Galactus or some shit like that. Tied in.
Knows about them. This is when everybody saw when it happened. You didn't see it because it wasn't important at that time.
Right. Just show the explosion status report. Oh, we have these 4 people. Fast forward a year later, they're in the Baxter Building. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Go from there.
I need Silver Surfer.
Yeah, you introduce Galactus, something like that. I mean, that's how you could. That's how you could tie it in.
Galactus. I need them to introduce Silver Surfer.
Like I know he's not coming back, but I think if they ever bring back Captain America, they have to do a joke where him and the Human Torch are looking at each other, and then people make a comment about it.
Man, I wish they would do that.
That'd be hilarious. Or they do the Spider-Man point at each other's like you.
Yeah, like the 2 of them do that. Yeah, exactly. Like I need something like that. Or, I mean, he's probably not gonna come back now because his character is supposedly quote unquote dead. But it could happen because comic book movies can do the same thing. Killmonger and Cap.
I don't think Killmonger is dead, bro.
Right.
I don't think he is either because comic book movies, you could always bring them back. Bad guys just come back.
The way they did it, like they foreshadowed the entire time that T'Challa was gonna let him live and just keep him somewhere, like the same way they did the Winter Soldier. I think T'Challa knows where he is. I think that a lot of other people don't know where he is. But after all that whole speech he gave to his pops, I don't think he just let Killmonger die. That would be kind of anticlimactic.
Right.
Yeah, but it would be a hell of a character arc.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's like Wolf said, in Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, like he didn't have a backstory. He just got introduced.
Spider-Man was just there, and you told.
Because they knew at that point. They're like, we've shown y'all like how many times he's gotten his powers and how. We don't need to.
Right.
We don't need to keep doing.
Nobody wants to see that anymore. Like a majority of the people already know how. Like a lot of these.
We've seen, dude, even in the second movies, y'all flash back to him getting bitten in the first ones. Like we know exactly how man's got his powers.
Right. Well, I guess that was. Well, I mean, hey, like I said, whatever right now, as I see it, Marvel hasn't done any wrong yet. Since they've gotten all the people under one roof, so I guess we'll just see how it goes.
True.
But yeah, I mean, that was some. Got all that stuff out the way. I guess you guys ready to get into the topics for today?
Yeah, let's go ahead, man.
All right. Well, I guess the first thing we can start off with. There was a streamer that was playing some Call of Duty, and basically he was having a rough time getting camped, claymores, all that good stuff. Nella, that you like to, that you get exposed to when you play. So basically, he demanded donations from his stream, stating that he needed to make at least $10 an hour or he's going to stop his stream, stop playing Call of Duty for the day. Of course, his chat was just like, no. So he ended up stopping the stream. And I guess the question would be posed to you, and I'm pretty sure we're all unanimous on this decision, is that should that kind of demand be made from your community when you're playing a game as far as providing content and entertainment?
I mean, do you want to be first to say hell no, Nella, or can I?
You go first. You go first.
Hell no. Nobody should just demand money from anybody. Once again, on this platform, I said this. I'm pretty sure last time when we talked about the female streamer that did this, but demanding money for your content is stupid. Be happy that people decide to come and spend their time with you. If they donate money, take it, thank you, and move on and continue doing what you're doing. If they don't, just be happy they're there, spending time with you. Go on, like they just might not have the money to donate to you. But when you demand it, you ain't getting shit from me. Like I don't owe you anything for coming in and showing support. Plain and simple. And then if you don't like Call of Duty, play something else. But don't demand me giving you money to keep playing a game you don't want to play. Like, just play something else. I don't want to watch you play a game you fucking suck at anyway. All right, that's whatever. Go. I can't stand that kind of self-entitled bullshit.
So looking at it from both sides, from the viewer side, him saying like it depends on how he said it, and I'm looking at the quote where he was just like he said, where is it at? I hate to be like this, but if you want this stream to continue, it's going to be $10 an hour. We need to make $10 in donations per hour for this shit to continue, or I'm just going to get off. So basically, looking at it from Nat, I'd be like, nah, you good. If I was watching, honestly. Looking at it from his standpoint, if you grow on certain games, and it's nobody's fault but theirs. I'm not saying to feel sorry for them. I'm saying like if he grew on Call of Duty and that's what like people watch and he's streaming full time, you get stuck. It's a job now. Like
right.
You have to play that pretty much. If you have sponsors, you definitely have to play that because they're gonna contact you and be like, "Yo, why aren't you playing the game that gets you views?" So he probably is like, if I have to keep putting myself through this hell of dealing with this, like, because I know what playing COD is like. He was like, I got to get paid to do it. Like, and I'm saying that may be where he was coming from. So he's like, I hate to be like this, but if I got to keep putting myself through this, I got to get $10 an hour.
Right.
This is bullshit. Or I'm just gonna get off. And it looks like he got off when they said they weren't gonna pay him. So it was just like, hey, like I've had enough, and in order to keep at this point, in order to deteriorate my mental health, I'm gonna have to get paid to do it. So but at the same time, nobody told you had to stream. That's what I'm saying. Like, so on both sides, I can see where it's coming from. Like he gets paid to do this, and like he's probably got to play COD. On the viewer's side, like I'm watching because it's entertaining, not because I expect to have to pay you every hour to keep you live. But I mean, shit. Low tier guide makes people donate $25 to $50 before he even turns his camera on, and his camera stays on. So I don't think it's unreasonable to ask for it. In this day and age, I don't think it's an unreasonable thing to ask for, especially since we have streamers whose entire setups in stream rooms have been paid for by donations.
Right.
Like at this point, like that's why I'm saying, like at this point, I don't even think, honestly, this is my honest opinion. You getting offended by somebody asking for donations is really the problem at this point. Like, because that's the culture we're in now. Like nobody whined while people were getting entire houses paid for by donations, but somebody asked for $10 an hour to struggle through something he's clearly not enjoying, and it's like, yo, fuck you. It's the same problem with people spending $500 on Jordans, but you ask them to spend $2 on a phone app and they lose their minds. Like, it's the same thing. Just like when people donate blindly to streamers who say, hey, I need money for this. You honestly don't know where that money's going. You're donating because you support this person.
Right.
So support the person or don't support them. Honestly. Like you can say I'm gonna keep watching, but I don't feel like donating, but getting mad about it, about them asking is a bit much at this point. Just because like people ask for way worse donations and way crazier donations than $10 an hour. And he has what 150,000 followers, so I'm sure his viewer count was decent.
Right.
Like if people donated 10 cents maybe or 15 cents, he probably would have hit that goal.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think it's that big a deal on his end to ask for that.
Right.
I can see where people like he had the audacity, like you really asked for that, but shit, people ask for money to go buy Coca-Cola from the gas station on Twitch these days, and people pay for it. So why not?
Right. Well, Sleep, looks like you had something you wanted to say.
I'll say, hey, I can't argue with that. People give money up to people on Twitch all the time for all kinds of shit for just random reasons. So okay, I'll acquiesce on that one. I was speaking from my personal thing. Like I said, I'm not.
Because as a viewer, I'd have been like,
I don't give money to anybody for any damn thing unless I just believe in supporting them in general. Like if I give $5, then I was going to give that $5 whether you needed it or not. Like you don't have to ask me for that donation if I gave it to you. Like I was like sitting there and thought, man, this motherfucker. I've been sitting here watching this for all this time. I got the spare money. I'm just gonna throw it to them instead of some other bullshit.
I'll put it this way.
But I got 3 kids, a 4th one on the way.
I'm not. Man,
I got a car outside that I'm working on getting repaired. Like, yo, I don't have a lot of spare money. I'm not giving $10 to some dude to play Call of Duty when I don't like Call of Duty that much.
Like, yeah, but see, the people watching him do. I know you're coming from a personal place, but the people watching him obviously like Call of Duty, or else they wouldn't have been in there.
See, you say that, but I'm gonna go back to your LTG thing. A lot of people watching LTG ain't watching him because they want to see his high-level Street Fighter gameplay. They watch him because they know he gonna break your controller and rage quit, and they think that shit's hilarious.
Yeah, but you watch a lot of, but this is the thing. You watch a lot of ragers, right? It's a lot of ragers on YouTube compilations. It's not just LTG. You can watch any of these people.
No, I know. It's like DSP, LTG,
so
all that shit.
The thing is, LTG and DSP are FGC ragers. People that watch them watch fighting games, regardless. That's my point. It's still a certain crowd of people. You usually don't get a lot of COD players going in to watch low tier God. You get fighting game players going to watch low tier God. So it's just like his fan base obviously like shooters of some sort. So that's why I was like, I can see both sides. But what I was gonna say is, coming from my perspective, when I first started streaming, I kept the donation goal up. I always had a donation goal up, and I would always tell people, I'm like, you don't have to donate, but I encourage you to. These goals help me, and this is a way to support me. And people would donate more. I saw a significant increase in donations from me bringing it up and having it on the stream.
Right.
Just having it on the stream, it went down. Then I stopped mentioning it. When it was just up on the stream, I got less donations. Then when I took the donation goal down, I got no donations. So it was still like I still had the same goals. I still want to do the same things with that money, but I wanted to see how much it changed if I asked for donations versus just having the goal up there versus not having a goal up there at all. I still need the same support, but if it's not being asked for, if it's not shown to people, they don't think about it. So they're not going to donate. So I don't think it's a bad thing to tell people, like, I always tell them, like, it's not required for you to donate to be a part of my community or to watch my streams, but I would really appreciate it if you did, if you want to support me. And I mean, I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah, but see, that's the difference. You said you can support me and I will appreciate it, but you don't have to.
Well, that's what he said. No, that's
or the stream will end. And they say,
and that's his right. Just like it's everybody else's right to go watch something else, it's his right to stop casting when he wants.
Yeah, I understand that. But I'm saying, like, if he says donate or I'm gonna stop, and they say we're not gonna donate, then he stops. If they move on, then they move on, and that's just it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not like he's quitting streaming. It's just that broadcast is stopped. That's why I don't think it was that big a deal.
Right.
Because he got off. It really was. Y'all can choose to support. Like he was like, I can't play this. Basically, what he was saying, what I got from what he was saying is, I can't put myself through this or play this type of game right now without additional monetary support. And he didn't get it, so he stopped playing. So, and that's how it was just like, either like pay for this type of content or you're not getting it. Like, just because I can't keep doing this. And so they didn't pay for it and they didn't get it. Like, it's problem solved. Right. I feel like he'll be live again the next day, just playing something else.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think if he had a high sub count, do you think that would change anything? Like, let's say if he's getting paid, let's say if he has 1,200 subs, because I don't know his numbers or whatever the case may be. But if he had 1,200 subs, he's getting 1,200 subs a month, and then he asked on top of that, do you think that would be a bit much, or is he just still entitled to do what he wants? Because I understand it's his stream and he can say whatever he wants to say, but if you knew his numbers, like if he had a sub count in the top like left, he's like 1,200 out of 1,500 subs or whatever, or something like that. Do you think that changes?
It doesn't for me, but I can see why it would for some. I don't think it should change because it doesn't change in any other realm. Only on Twitch do people worry about shit like that. Like, that's why I think Twitch is doomed to fail in the long run if it keeps up, because people like to stop supporting you when you get partnered. Because it's like, oh, you don't need my support anymore. You made it. No, I still need your support. It's still a climb. It's still a grind. Like, it's a bad attitude to have, to be like, oh, you have this many subs. Why are you asking for this? You shouldn't be asking those questions. Either support the person or don't support them. It's really that simple.
I get what you're saying. I do. But I think there's a different bit of a caveat to that. Sometimes when things start going, people just start adding on to it just to see how far it will go before it stops. So I don't think that people quit just because somebody made partners. Sometimes that's the case. But like in the case of like who's the top streamer on Twitch? Sometimes, and then somebody gets close to them. There's been situations where somebody was like, oh, well, the number 2 streamer is about to overtake the number 1 streamer. And then people will start going to number 2 and joining that person's community just to push them over the number 1 person. And then other people will see that and be like, well, no, I like number 1 better, and let me join number 1's community to keep them on top. And so they will just keep growing despite that. So, I mean, in some communities, I think there's just hard limits on how high you can go. Like, the LGC supports people inside its own community to a certain degree. Like, if you play a game in your local community, the people from your local community will just show up to turn out and support you because they are in your community and they play the same game. So they're supporting you, they're supporting their game. But if you're a player from, let's say, California, and nobody really knows you, and you start playing a game and you just start streaming it, if you're not participating in your local community, then you won't have those people supporting you. So you're just hoping to get people who are looking for that game to just pop in like everybody else. So you'll see significantly less. So, but then there's games out there like Call of Duty. If you don't play on some kind of esports team or do some kind of amazing robotic like aiming like Shroud or something like that, you just there playing a game. You're just like everybody else. It's like if me or you started streaming League of Legends right now, and I don't know what your rank is, but let's say you're Plat 4. You're one of a billion Plat 4s on the planet. Nobody knows who you are. Who cares? And that's in Plat, not even Bronze. And there's people who still try streaming the game and they're playing in Bronze, and nobody sees them. So some games you have to have a lot of people know you to play it, and if you're playing in those, then you have to build a community, not around an actual community, not the idea of just pushing a goal. People have to like you and support you to stay there to support you, and those people aren't going to leave just because you reach partner. Like if you reach partner, they're going to stick around anyway because they're supporting you, not the idea of let me push them to partner.
That works in smaller communities. That doesn't work in larger. Like, look at Ninja before he left. That's not a community. That's a bunch of kids with credit card. Like, that's not a community at all, but they support the fuck out of him.
But that would put him in the first group. I said, well, people are like, yo, this dude's reaching the top of the thing. Let me just keep pushing him because. And so people just kept hopping on the Ninja bandwagon, pushing Ninja even further and further because they just want to see how the fuck far this Ninja
basically
go.
The whole point I was making was if you support people or you don't, if you're following and watching a scammer every day, then you're supporting a scammer. It's that simple. If you're not, you're not. If you're a part of a community, support that person. But either support people or don't, and stop trying to find excuses. Like, people never look for excuses to support people. People look for excuses to not support people.
True.
And it's ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely absurd. That's my point. People always, well, how many subs do you have? They don't say, do you need some more? Like, what's your sub goal this month? It's, well, he's got enough subs. My sub goal could be 2,300 this month, but because I already have 2,000, you don't want to support me. That's bullshit.
That's crazy.
Because
like I said, I don't stream like y'all do, so I don't.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, because people, it's the same thing as people always talk about. Like, if let's say I was an entrepreneur, right, and I just opened a store. Y'all already know, y'all have friends that open a store and be like, people don't support small businesses, or black people don't support black businesses. You'll hear this from these people constantly. But then at the same time, you will see them never stop to buy fruit off the street, from a farmer's market, none of that. They take their asses straight to Walmart. That's what I'm saying. But if you ask them, why didn't you buy fruit from that dude on the side? Or, oh, he could be a killer, or that could be bad fruit. So people always, they love to find excuses to not support a person, but they will never, ever sit there and think up of an excuse to support a person. And that's my point. I was like, if people would just shut the fuck up and just support or not support, things would be a lot simpler.
Man, y'all making me kind of glad I don't deal with that shit.
It's just things I see. Like, it's not like I stream off and on now, but I mean, I see things on Twitter every day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, I see those things and it helps me. It's not necessarily too bad because it helps me learn how to navigate and build my community.
Right.
So I'm able to look into those things and I flat out tell people all the time, I appreciate y'all. Like, thank you. I appreciate y'all supporting me and know that I got y'all's back. Like, and I don't need to know if you're a shitty person off Discord, or if people don't like you off Discord. I know how you act in here. I know how I perceive you, and that's what matters to me right now. Like, I'm not too worried about, if I want to support you, I'm going to support you, or I'm not going to. I'm not going to worry about how rich you are or how much money you make. Like, some people, like, let's say I'm streaming and people, let's say I was a surgeon, right? And people were like, I'm not subbing to this dude. He's a surgeon. What if I hate being a surgeon and I just hope one day I'll go full-time streamer? Maybe I've gotten tired of the shallow work of a doctor. But I don't know. But I need to know I can get the support I need.
Right. And
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying those scenarios.
And to compound off of what you were saying about being a surgeon, sometimes a lot of people, if they have like a successful job, they don't really care about the support or not. And then they get the support because people are like,
he didn't get it all.
They're like, oh, he doesn't.
They never ask for it. They don't need it
because they don't need it or whatever.
It's so backwards. It is so backwards.
Right, but it's just it's really interesting to see those kind of things because I mean I watch from the background, and I think if you decide to get into streaming, it's one of those things you have to have a mental makeup for. Because you can't just go in. If you go in for the wrong reasons, you're not going to get the support you need, essentially. So you kind of have to go in with the tactful mindset. It's like, okay, let me do X, Y, and Z to get to where I need to be or whatever I want to do, essentially. Because a lot of people end up burning out within the first 2 months, month and a half, if they try to start streaming and nobody's really there or whatever. There are movie, TV, and porn stars that stream on Twitch and still get subs and donations. Yeah, that is very true.
I'm not asking about backgrounds, Red. I mean, I know what you're talking about because I know Freddie Prinze Jr. streams, T-Pain streams. I follow both of them because Freddie Prinze Jr. talks real shit.
Wait, the boy Freddie Prinze? Okay, you have to leave me that later. Oh, shit.
Yeah, he had a real ass. I'm not gonna get into details about it but he had like a real ass rant. He went off on fucking Star Wars fans, and he's a Star Wars fan, but he went off on the rest of them, and I thought it was fucking hilarious because it was awesome. And when you think about it from what he described, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm getting this shit straight from George Lucas," so people can't question it if it's coming from fucking George Lucas. Like, he the dude that made the damn thing. You can't say it's wrong. But he went off on them, and I thought that was hilarious. T-Pain playing any kind of shooting game is hilarious. He talks exactly like you think he would talk. So he's sitting there and he's like playing Call of Duty, and it's like, "Oh shit, shot it," and like, stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, "Yeah, motherfucker, got him, yeah," like shit like that. Yo, he's legit. T-Pain's stream is hilarious to watch. It's awesome. He even streamed his album when he dropped the album. He even did like an album party and streamed it and whatnot. So. But yeah, you clearly Freddie Prinze Jr. and T-Pain don't need my money, but I still see subs trickling across the screen. So I know exactly what you're talking about there. But like I said, I can't speak for a majority of these people and whatnot, because my situation is not like everybody else's situation. Like for me personally, I don't join a community unless I like not like the person necessarily, but I like the idea of being a part of that community. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I look at the people. I don't even look at the person that runs the community. Like
if I'm sitting there, I like the idea that, let's say sometimes streamers are playing games and the game requires intense concentration and they can't address every person in the chat, or the community might be so damn big that they just don't have time to see everything. Like, I'm not a part of Dr. Disrespect community, but like, I've seen a few of his streams and I get it. If that dude stopped to address every single person in his damn chat, he would never get shit done.
He plays shooters.
And then exactly on top of it, he's playing shooters. You can't keep looking at chat in the middle of a shooting game. Right. So sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, in between match, let me talk to chat. Let me do my thing. FGC people know what I'm talking about with this. You can't be blocking jump ins and watching mix-ups and watching the chat. One of these two things gotta give.
Somebody. It is a flex. Like if you whooping somebody's ass, you can look over at chat.
Right, but
like, I'll do that sometimes. If I'm wearing somebody out, I'll read chat while I'm playing and respond.
Yeah, but if you're doing that, then that person shouldn't be fighting you because y'all not on the same level. Like, if you sitting there playing, or you playing like a combo intense game like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or fucking Dragon Ball FighterZ, where you can fucking sit there and you start the combo, and once you start, you can just be like, all right, so we're gonna keep going like this, and then, you're wearing them out the whole time. But if I join a person's chat, I typically like being in the chat, and I feel like even if the streamer is too busy to talk to chat, I can talk to the other people in chat, and everything's gonna be okay.
I wish everybody had your attitude, man.
And that's one thing that's always appreciated. 100%. Like somebody talking to other people.
Please talk to other people in chat. For those of y'all that are watching, if y'all are in any Twitch channel, whether it be 2 viewers or 100 viewers, talk to other people in chat.
Well, like I said, my community is nowhere near as big as y'all. Usually it's me and then like the guys I'm in Discord with watching me, but they're not talking because I'm talking to them. So in Discord.
Yeah, so, I know. I do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like, so my chat is like, it's like 5 viewers, but 4 of them are in chat.
4 of them in voice chat. Yep.
Yeah. So like, there's no one talking, and I like I said, I don't stream as much as y'all, but after experiencing it, I'm like, man, I wish chat would talk to each other just so I could have something to bounce off of, and that helps. So once I experienced that myself, when I went in the text chat, I saw Vigo. I don't know Vigo from left from right. But he's in the chat. He's talking with Tack. Tack gets busy. Like, well, hell, if I don't talk to this guy, I'm never gonna know him. It's that old, primary school situation. Like, if you don't, see that kid over there. If you don't go talk to them, they're not gonna talk to you. Nobody ever gets to see anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to get off the wall and go talk to them.
And don't get it twisted. It's not a requirement because we understand everybody has lives and stuff to do.
Hey, lurk away if you want to lurk, but I'm just saying to think about it.
Oh no, I thank lurkers because they still there doing. Hey, lurking is still a form of supporting real viewers.
Right.
So
don't get it twisted. We're not saying it's a requirement if you go into anybody's stream to talk to somebody, but we appreciate it.
I'm not requiring nothing from nobody. If you in my stream, whether you lurking, whether they're chatting, whether you sub, follow, or you. Whatever, like I've had a guy, and I'm not calling their name out or nothing like that, but they lurked in my chat 4 times in a row before they finally came out and said something, and then they hit that follow.
Wait, you ain't had to talk about me like that, Sleep. Sleep, you ain't had to talk about me like that, man. Okay.
I've had a couple people like that. I'm like, man, I'm surprised you came back to my stream 4 times without following.
When you hit the follow, that's what I said. I said, how did you even find me all these times without following?
Dude said he kept my tab open. Like, he just come back.
Straight up told me, he's like, I follow the game, and every time I'm playing this game, I look to see who's streaming it. And you're the only one I was seeing at the point in time that was doing it somewhat consistent and actually would answer questions when people were talking to you. It's like, well, if we don't answer your question, you're going to get mad and frustrated and you're going to leave the game. What the hell's the point in that? Even if you don't stay in my stream, I want you to stay playing the game, because even if you're playing the game and not playing with me, just being there keeps other people there, and then it makes it easier for me to keep playing the game I like.
Whether you're an expert or an amateur, because that invites more people into the chat. It's not just pros in here, because that can be intimidating for people. It's just like, if I ask this question, I'll get made fun of.
Yep.
If there's beginners in there too, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That's something I think people should do more of. It's just, if you don't know the answer, tell them you don't know the answer. But tell them, hey, this guy might know the answer. I know that a lot of people don't want you, it's streamer etiquette where you don't come into people's chat and announce your own stream or whatnot. But I think a lot of streamers should start saying, hey, just because I don't have it doesn't mean this other streamer that I know has it doesn't have it. Like, put them out there, shout them out, give them that help. And they might see that you're supporting them even without them asking, and throw you some back. If they don't, then just bank the good karma and keep it moving.
That's what we do in Rivals right now, actually. That's exactly what we do. Like, cause since it's a new and old community, like they're very top, very good players, and then they're brand new players. There's a big gap with the community. So that's exactly what we do, support each other. Like whether it be streaming or anything, it's just like, hey, this person also plays Rivals. We're in a community. So it's actually that simple. We'll look into the person for a little bit, but yeah, it's really that simple.
Like, how I met this guy was through Tipsy, but then he started playing Elder Scrolls Online. I ain't no dick about that game, and I tried it out when it first came out, and I just ran around whacking shit with my stick, basically.
I saw that game, and I wasn't touching it with a 10-foot pole. I don't have the skills to play. I don't have the skills to play a game.
2 years later,
it's hard.
After I meet this guy and I start hanging out with him and whatnot, I start playing the game, and I find out he streams the game. I start watching him, and then I learned so much shit. But then, even when there was shit that he was like, well, I don't know, but then ask this guy. And then that's how I found another streamer and started watching them. And then I actually enjoyed the stream, so it helped out even more. And I stayed around and followed that person and started doing things. Like, that's how people should treat all of this shit, in my opinion. It's just like, yo, if I don't have the answer, that's fine. But I know a guy.
Right. There's nothing wrong with saying I don't know. Like, you're not gonna get. I mean, there's some people out there be like, oh, well, you don't know, well, I'm out or whatever. But if you that's what I'm saying. That's what some people will do. It's like, all right, bye. But if you say I don't know, but you at least show the attempt to get somebody the answer or point them in the right direction, that means a lot to a lot of people that come to your chat. That means that shows that you care. And so that's one thing that I think a lot of people can build on or learn to do is don't try to bullshit, because people can smell when you're bullshitting. So just let them know and say, hey, I don't know. However, I think that XYZ may have the answer, or this video may have the answer, and link them something or point them in the right direction. I mean, it's that simple.
I don't know.
They got a whole academy server.
I'm gonna be like, bitch, you don't know either. That's why you asked me. Get out my chat.
Go to the Academy Discord server. They got everything you need in there. Academy Discord server. Every time somebody asks me a question, I'm like, that's where I learn from. That's where I get all my info. Just go there.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to. Sometimes
people
you don't
like
have to
exclusivity.
You don't have to be the answer. You could just be helpful, and that's enough. Like,
some people like to be like on both sides. Some people like to be the only ones with the tech or with the knowledge or the pioneers, so to speak. They like to play with it for a little bit and then be like, okay, now I can name this and give it to the world or whatever. So then people have to ask questions about it. And then the other side is people like what I was saying, the whole exclusivity thing. Some people just like being that man with the secret.
That's fine,
Yeah, but I think it's silly. But yes,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a subject matter expert. Don't get me wrong, but it's just
there's nothing wrong being a SME.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes to a point when you get to the point of like, oh, I may not know the answer. Don't try to gas it up like you know what you're talking about, because then that just makes you look bad at the end.
Don't BS people, and if you don't know, then say it. Straight up. Just be honest. As far as being the one to create the tech and whatnot, like you said, no, I got no problem with that. I know a lot of people create their own tech and like to be the one to name the tech, and that's fine. But if you holding on to the tech thinking that nobody's gonna figure it out, like that's crazy.
It's silly. It's very silly.
People if you're on Twitch, people can clip you. If you're on YouTube, they can just rewind. Like if you do it in a tournament, there's footage of that tournament.
Somebody's gonna reverse engineer it. They're gonna watch you over.
So if you don't if you just go ahead and put the tech out, share the tech, and move on. Because if you hold on to it for too long, people are just gonna reverse engineer it. You're gonna think you're the only one with it, and you're gonna get blown up because they're gonna figure out how to stop that. That's what training mode is for, to figure out how to blow up tech. You either create tech or blow up tech inside of the training room. That is literally what the lab is for. So don't be the one holding on. Don't be the man with the secret. That's not gonna help you at all.
Yeah, I mean, we can go on forever about that, but that's pretty much the gist of it. But I mean, right. And I don't know if y'all that are listening and are watching use Google Chrome. However, Google has released an update that has helped reduce notifications and ads on pages that you visit, which is hilarious because everybody's talking about, oh, don't put on ad blocker, this, that, and the other. It's like, well, Google did it. So now, we have our own built-in ad blocker. It's not going to turn them all off. It's just going to limit the amount of ads you see on a page, essentially.
Which is actually a good thing,
right? Because it slows. Because if you get all these ads, it's gonna slow down. You're scrolling to what you're trying to get to as far as information. So I guess the question becomes: is what do you guys think about this? Hearing how we had the whole support your people, turn off ad blocker and everything like that, but now Google turns around and is like, oh well, we have something that's going to reduce notifications, reduce the notifications and ads. So you're essentially cutting out some of the revenue for a lot of these pages that are out there.
I can go first on this one. I think it's a good thing. Limiting ads is fine. I just didn't like the fact that people were just blocking them all with ad block. It's just like, I'm not watching a single ad. I'm kind of, at that point, I was kind of like, that made me be like, what the fuck do you get off, bro? Like, you just want everything for free?
Right.
Like, that's how I feel about it. Because I'm like, I know ads are annoying, but somebody's got to get paid. Like, if that was your product, you'd be mad if everybody was skipping your ad. You'd be in your feelings. So, but yeah, I think limiting them, like, because I don't like watching a video and seeing like when you see like 20 notches on like a 10-minute video, I'd be hot, man. I'd be mad. I'm like, yo, for real? Now, if I see 5 notches or 6, maybe I'll be more inclined to watch. So I think this is a good thing if they don't get out of hand.
Okay.
But I mean, this could even cost YouTube money if you think about it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll have to look into the specifics of it, but I don't know if it's going to work on YouTube videos per se. I think it's just regular web pages that have like the ads that pop up on the side and stuff like
per click.
Right.
Well, some of them are too much. Like now, if we're talking about just those, bring it on. Like I don't think every ad should be blocked, but yeah, something's got to go down because like they're everywhere.
The ones that follow you as you scroll down the page is like
they're everywhere.
It's like whoa.
Everywhere. It's just like all those embedded ads, man. It's just like come on, like 3 or 4 is fine, but some pages have like 8 and 9 embedded ads, and then once you hit the bottom, you can hit like 16 or 17 of them.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, this is excessive. To the point where, like, this is the main reason why it's a problem. On a computer or on a phone, when you're reading an article and the page keeps shifting because ads are loading as you're reading the page. So the paragraphs are moving on the page. So you lose your spot. Like, you have to wait a couple of seconds before you start reading instead of just reading as soon as you get there. And I'm a pretty fast reader, so I make a dent in it before it starts to, like... And I'm pissed because I'm like, oh my gosh, these ads. Or when you're going to swipe on your phone and an ad shows up right where you were reading and you're getting ready to swipe the bottom of the page and you tap the ad. those things are the reason why I'm all for this.
Yeah, the ones that you try to click on the X, but it it takes you to the ad. Like you sitting there tapping on the X, it's like, oh, okay, well, we'll load up the next page.
That's
But
them the ones that cover the article. It's like covering half the article. It's like, let me hit this X, and it takes you to another page.
Well, Slate, what do you think about this? I'm sure you probably got some hot takes.
I mean, as far as the whole ad situation go, I understand what Nella's saying, so I'm not gonna be like I'm gonna be honest. Like, yo, I ad block the fuck.
And look, and I'm not gonna give you shit for it. Like,
but hold on, but because I understand what you said. But before, I will say this: if you give me the option to support you to avoid the ads, I do. Like the whole Google Play Red thing with YouTube and all that, where you give them some money and they cut commercials out of all your shit. And I think it's only like $5 a month. I pay that shit.
Oh yeah, I have YouTube Premium for sure.
Yeah.
No
like,
ads.
Google has its own thing that you pay for that includes the YouTube Prime or Red or whatever the fuck it's called now. And I pay for that.
YouTube Music if you pay for it as well.
Yeah, like
phone app, YouTube Music.
I want to look, I don't mind supporting you, but I don't want, like you said, 32 damn ads before I get into something. Like, especially the worst for me is on YouTube when I want to watch a 3-minute video and I have to watch a 2-minute commercial.
A 5-minute ad for you to watch the video.
So there's this long cinematographic fucking commercial before this like 2-minute clip on YouTube. Like, no. I just want to watch my fucking Vine compilation real quick and then go about my day. I'm on my break. Chill. Like, but if you don't give people that kind of option, you just get ad blocked. Because some people just don't care about the idea of supporting the advertising agency, the guy who made the ad, the people in the ad. They don't give a fuck about that. They just want to go straight to their thing. And I understand that that's a business. These people need to get paid. They got to make their money. YouTube's trying to make money. We don't get YouTube for free because we just donate money to YouTube out the kindness of heart. YouTube making that ad revenue, so they need that shit. If we want YouTube to stick around, they got to keep making money. So they got to do this shit. I totally understand that whole process. But when it gets excessive, you get blocked.
Exactly. And that's why I said I don't fault you for it. Like, just like when they did the thing with Twitch, where if you had Twitch Prime, you didn't have to see ads for a while.
Mm-hmm. Then you put it back in.
Matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you got to watch them anyway, and it's like, honestly, the way it should work. And I think that I've always said this about Twitch. It should be either like they had Twitch Turbo, but I don't even think they need that. Honestly, it's who you watch. If you sub to the person, you don't watch ads. It's really that simple.
Right. I think that's actually how it is right now.
That is, but they need to cut everything else out. Like, Twitch is trying to make their own money. That's why Twitch Turbo is a thing. But it would actually help the streamers more if it was like, if you sub to me, you don't have to watch the ads. But most people, because they tell you, they encourage you in the guides, like use that as a perk. Tell people you don't have to watch ads. You know, you can see that little 2 minutes where I'm sipping on my coffee. And that's cool, but Twitch offers them a better deal where you can just pay for Twitch Turbo per month and not get ads on anybody's channel. So why wouldn't you do that? Like, even that's what I told somebody. I was like you don't have to watch ads. I'm like, honestly, that's not a real incentive. I have Twitch Turbo. Like, because, so I'm like, that hurts streamers more than anything, in my opinion. I was like, you should have it where it's just you watch ads or you sub to this person and don't watch ads on their content.
Yeah, but Twitch has got to get their money. If they can cut your profit out of there and throw it in their
pocket.
Yeah,
I know. But I'm just saying.
But yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so I guess we're pretty much all on the same page on that. I mean, like I said, I saw it and I was like, hallelujah. I was like, it's about time, because that was getting annoying. I would go to a webpage and like, even when I'm streaming, I'm like, the webpage takes forever to load. And I understand it takes a lot of resources when you're streaming, but when you pull up the webpage, it shouldn't take me, 30, 45 seconds to pull up something that I need to find.
With fast internet.
Right. It's like, come on, man. But
I know this is not the same thing, but like, I honestly think it wouldn't be so bad if you could at least get better targeted ads. Like,
my gosh.
We know you got our data. So just give me better shit to target it toward me.
Bro.
Like I think Twitch is doing that now because for some reason, every time I log in, they keep throwing army shit at me, and I'm like, look, I already enlisted. I did my time.
Look,
but I wish they had better targeting because, like, at the very least, throw some Navy shit at me, man. Don't throw no damn Army shit at me, man. Like, just throw me my shit. That's all I'm saying.
Just because I talked about Warcraft 3 Reforged doesn't mean I want to see an ad for it. I mean, come on, like.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyway, but I guess it's time to get into the meat and potatoes. Everybody's here. I'm sure if you all haven't heard, BioWare's come out with an official announcement that they are planning on reworking Anthem. Basically stating that, you know, the job that they did was poor. They didn't necessarily listen to the community, and that they're going to put the TLC into the game to try and make it as best as it can be. Personally, I mean, I guess it's good that they're working on the game, but I really didn't care either way because I tried it when it first came out. I was like, this game is straight butt. And they could have just, you know, take the assets and try to make a new game with it instead of trying to work on an old game. But I guess what are your guys' opinions on this whole it was for Destiny as well. They're doing Anthem and Destiny. I'm not saying Destiny needs to rework, but they're going to do some TLC for Destiny to try and improve the game as well.
All right, so I guess I'll step out on this one first. For Anthem anyway, I believe that a lot of people saw this coming. Anthem's anniversary is like this month, and they still have the Christmas decorations up. Like before this announcement, I was literally sitting in my Discord conversating with my friends and was like, their anniversary is supposed to be this month. I wonder what event they got going down. I type in Anthem game and Google it real quick, and the top stories on it is people are mad Anthem still has Christmas decorations up. It's not a good look when the top hype for your game is negative to begin with, but then it's negative because people are just mad that you ain't took down your Christmas decorations yet. Like,
I mean, that's a server update, dog. That's inexcusable. Mm-hmm. It's February, bro.
See? And I just said that. I was like, now if we've all had neighbors like that, you're like, yo, it's February, take that shit down already. No, but that's the
thing, though. This is
your video games top story was not a good look. And then literally the same day, I'm sitting there and I finish reading that article. I go back to Google to see what the next article is, and I go, and as soon as I go back to my search and refresh it, bam, there's that blog post where they come out and they say what they say, and it's like, I kind of felt this was coming because we just had this conversation where there's either a massive rework or a shutdown. There's the only two options left for this game, and considering that EA is a company that's all about building franchises, and then Final Fantasy 14 is making everybody seriously consider the idea of relaunching because of the massive success they had with 2.0 versus 1.0. That a rework was just kind of like something that had to happen.
They need to stop they need to stop modeling themselves after Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, I'm not saying they should model themselves.
No, I know, but they don't realize how difficult it is, like, to have that type of community support for that long. Like, that game wins community support awards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't try to be like Final Fantasy. To me, I don't think it's one.
Oh, but it lost community. It lost community award to Fortnite for some because
Yeah, but we know why. We know why. But yeah, like, it's just, that's why I was like, you cannot try to. Destiny 2, I'm actually more concerned about than Anthem with this too. Funny enough. I didn't play Anthem. I wanted to, like, as soon as I saw it get introduced, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. Then they were like, Xbox exclusive. And I was like, oh. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, I have an Xbox, but still, I was like, oh. Because I don't know many people with one, and I need friends to play that game with.
Right.
But then they were like, they fixed all that stuff, and they were like, hey, we got some gameplay for you. And I looked, and I'm like, all right, I'm kind of scared because what they're bragging about, I don't think that's what we're gonna get when the game gets here. So I'm gonna just wait. I waited, and we saw what happened. And with Destiny 2, it's not as bad as what I've heard with Anthem, but the issues I have with Destiny 2 is that they have content, but then it just it lasts me a week or two. And then in order to do the raid, I got to get my power level up. So you force long grindy situations on me now, where I can only unlock one piece of currency that I need for this per week, and I need 20 pieces before I can get anything. So now you forced me to play every week, which I don't like. If you're gonna make me grind in a game, I'm cool with having weeklies or dailies, but you need to give me more than that. You need to make the process a little faster. But if they're going to model after Final Fantasy 14, they got to realize Final Fantasy 14 puts out content.
Yep.
They put out content. Like that was the main issue with Destiny 2. If they put out content on the scale or at the rate that Final Fantasy 14 did, I'd still be playing it. There's no doubt in my mind. I would still be playing Destiny 2.
See, that's funny to me because I'm part of the Final Fantasy community, and I honestly feel like the content in Final Fantasy is gated just like Destiny's is. Like a new patch drop, there'll be a new tombstone, and then you got to grind up those tombstones, and it takes like for a piece of main side gear, not accessory, it'll take you roughly a full week and maybe like a little bit
to get one piece.
To get one piece of gear. And then you got to get head, legs, body, and feet.
Oh, I play Final Fantasy 14. I was a mentor on Final Fantasy 14.
Okay, so yeah, so you got to get like 6 pieces of gear and on your main side, and it takes you like a week for like three of these pieces, and then like another 2 pieces, like the body and the legs, usually take you 2 weeks to get.
So you're speaking like from a hardcore perspective, though. That's what you got to think about. In Final Fantasy, they give us like 2 or 3 dungeons in a hardcore raid.
Yep.
Or a Savage series to go through.
Yeah.
They give something for both, for the casual people to play, because the gear you're talking about, Sleep, is optional. People don't have to get that gear. You need that gear to do the hardcore content. You don't need it to complete the game. So that's what I'm saying. With Destiny, they give us a raid, and that's it. You don't have dungeon instances. You have the same 5 to 6 planets, the same instances that you grind. That's the thing. Like, you do this constant grinding with the exact same things just to do one raid.
So they don't even give you new ways to grind. That's the issue.
Not just that, you do one raid. Like there's no content. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. Final Fantasy 14.
So at this point, there's still just one raid in Destiny?
They always give you one raid per like expansion. Like there's one big raid. Yeah. Like, and that's what I'm saying. If they're gonna do that, I'm fine with having one raid.
That's terrible then.
But they need to add like some 4-man instances.
Yeah,
like
that's terrible.
Or some 3-man team like dungeons or something to run through with boss battles or something like they do for the raids. I was like, this is silly. I was like, I paid for this game, but like after a few weeks, I don't have anything to do. Like I'd come do my daily grinding, but I feel like with any massively multiplayer environment, I shouldn't be just getting on doing dailies and logging off for at least a month. Like that was my issue with it. I was like, you really like you stretching yourself, call yourself massively multiplayer. I was like, y'all need to chill. Yeah, but maybe I've been spoiled by Final Fantasy 14.
Well, like, Red Wolf says that's what separates loot shooters from MMOs.
So, but that's the thing, Red Wolf. Content is content, whether it's slightly different genres or not. It's the same reason people fussed about Street Fighter V. You know what I'm saying? It was because we had online play and versus mode. That's it. When every other Street Fighter game is giving us like a survival mode or time attack or arcade mode, story mode, we didn't get any of that. And that's what I'm saying. Like Destiny 2 versus Final Fantasy 14 is bare bones Street Fighter V versus Street Fighter V Champion Edition.
Like, okay. So content is king at the end of the day, basically, though, is where
you going. Like video games, anything that's a looter shooter or an MMO, something that you can play with a lot of friends, something that's supposed to be time consuming and grindy, you need something to do. I shouldn't run out of stuff to do as fast as I did in Destiny 2. And I didn't even play Destiny 1. And I heard it was worse in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I was just like, the fact that it was worse in that one, I was like, no wonder so many people started playing Warframe. Like, you have an example right next to Destiny 2 of what they could have been doing, and then it's just not there.
All right, let's not get into that because we need to talk about Path to Exile right now.
I mean, but that goes.
I see the look on your face, man.
That goes into saying, just like you have it. I think we talked about this in the Discord the other day. It's like you have examples, and yet you refuse to look at your competitors.
You talking about Diablo, huh? You talking about Diablo?
Yep.
See, that's why I said don't get them started.
Yep.
Look,
It's like
I've had the same gripe. I'm like, y'all have a game literally right here showing y'all what the community wants, and y'all just like, nah.
it's just like it's like, oh, we big AAA title, we don't need to listen to our community. It's like, okay,
we know what the fans
you either evolve or you drown, my dude. Like, that's how it goes. It's like, and it just blows my mind. It's like, how do you not look at your competitors? It's like, oh, well, maybe we should do this to, you know, help our community base, our fan base to grow, because I have a feeling that Diablo 4 is going to come out and it's going to be trash. Like, something tells me they're gonna do something stupid.
I'm gonna keep my hopes.
Don't
do that to me.
They're gonna do something. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Don't leak your darkness into my light world of Diablo 4. Don't you come in here with negativity.
They're gonna do.
Don't wish that evil on me, Ricky.
I mean, it just feels like it's a cycle, because they did the same thing with Diablo 3. It's just like,
we'll see. And this is what I'm saying about Marvel. I think Marvel is going to do better in their next game. I think that's why they've been so silent, because they had Marvel Infinite and they thought that's what the fans wanted, and they didn't have anything else to go off of. Marvel was the only game like Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, we can only evolve it the way we know how. But now you have Battle for the Grid, you have Dragon Ball Fighters, you have Cross Tag Battle. So it's different things they can look at now, where they can probably optimize it. And I think Marvel has the potential to come back out on top. And I think Diablo does too, but they're going to have to pay attention. If they don't pay attention, we're all doomed.
Because if Path of Exile 2 comes about swinging, you can just kiss that goodbye.
I won't be pre-ordering Diablo 4.
Oh, not enough.
I won't be pre-ordering.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I'm going to keep high hopes for it until they give me a reason not to have high hopes. They've given me multiple, but we're not going to talk about those.
Right. And just like with Warframe, I mean, I played both Warframe and Destiny pretty heavy, and I'm just like, how is it that I can grind in Warframe and get stuff that I need and still have more stuff to do, like getting all the frames that released, getting all the weapons? It's like there's so much content here that I can't rush through it all unless I just open up my wallet to go buy platinum. And then even then, you don't get any advantage from getting these frames. They're all just cosmetic, because the end game is cosmetics in a lot of course, MMOs. The end game is always
true. End game is like
always
90% of real MMOs.
True end game is like in Final Fantasy. True end game is glamoring.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So
it's a harder grind getting them clothes than it is getting gear.
Right.
Yeah, man. Dude, there's a whole quest line in the Gold Saucer where you got to come in wearing specific articles of clothing, and you just got to go off this dude clues of what he think is stylish that week.
We were making money on the market board selling cosmetics way more than selling normal gear.
People doing raids to break down gear just so they can create craftable versions of that gear and sell it, because that's the truest end game, and we all know it.
Yeah. Luckily, when I got back into the game after a while, my friend had all his crafting classes maxed out, so he just made me gear. I was like, bet. I was like, let's get it. He just made me gear. He's like, your gear is better than most people's gear when they start the in-game stuff. And I'm like, that's what's up.
It's
I think MMOs in general are hitting a problem, though, where we're hitting this wall of people eat through content no matter how much you put out.
That's because you got those people. It's a rush for content creation now. Content creation created that vacuum.
Yep. You want to be the first to put stuff out, have a guide out, all this other stuff.
Like, especially the way the YouTube algorithm works, you need to be first.
Yeah. So
yeah.
That's just the thing now. Like, so Final Fantasy drops some new stuff, and there's a new raid, and now there's
I be seeing motherfuckers on mounts the same day. I don't be getting it. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like they whole crew of 8 be on the mount. I'm like, so y'all farmed this instance. Not only did y'all learn it already, y'all have gotten so proficient, you're farming for mounts.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
And they sitting there and they're not getting lucky to get the drop. They're just saying, F it. It takes after 20 runs, you could just get them out with the loot drop you get from it.
Yeah,
So
they're
they'll
just
do
running it.
80 plus runs until they just get it.
And here I am wiping for the 20th time with my group of folks. Like, y'all already figured it out because by then, the YouTube guide hasn't dropped.
Right.
And I always think that's the fun part of the MMO when everybody's fumbling through the instances because you're going to look up a guide eventually. Somebody in your party's looking up a guide. So it's just fun to fumble through first and learn some of the stuff yourself. And I was like, the fact that y'all even have the brains wired to figure this shit out in 20 minutes is beyond me. Like, y'all get 1 or 2 playthroughs and y'all know how to fight a boss. That's wild.
Yeah. They go in there fight on purpose like twice, and now it's like, all right, we got it figured out now. It's like, wait, what?
They even know the meta comp to run. Like, I used to get mad at Final Fantasy because I didn't run Warrior under any circumstances. I never ran Warrior, and I'm a tank main in any MMO or any RPG. So I was running Paladin because I'm like, Paladin seems like the truest version of a tank to me. So that's what I want to run.
You already know what happened. Oh, you ain't running one
today? I got to late game content, man, and people whined and bitched and moaned. Why don't you have a warrior at 60? Or why don't you have a warrior maxed out? Do you have a Dark Knight? No, I don't want to be an edgelord. I run Paladin. It's just like, we don't want that. You can't join this party. I'm like, are y'all
Paladin the DPS wasn't where it was at right there. So they were like,
all they wanted DPS. They wanted a lot of damage per second. So it's just like, and I got sick of hearing warriors during like quests or during raids or during instances where it's just like, yeah, I do way more damage. I'm like, I don't care, bro. We're tanks. I'm like, how much damage can you soak though? No, who's standing in front of the boss?
I had a big debate with my brother about that, where like it seems like and now they've adjusted to it with Shadowbringers. But like at a certain point, the Final Fantasy community changed how it, because it used to be about how much DPS could DPSers do. But with Final Fantasy 14, it's how much DPS can everyone do.
Supporting tanks do. How much DPS can the supporting tanks do with the DPS?
Yeah, it's not about having like the best DPS among DPS. Like you have warriors sitting there bragging like, yo, I do more DPS than the DPS do. It's like, well, shit. Is that where the game is going now? I mean, unfortunately, it seems like it is now because in Final Fantasy, everybody does DPS. But I do like the fact that developers noticed that that's where the trend was going, and so they started designing.
Yeah, so they started setting it up where you have to tank or you're gonna lose.
Yeah, so they started setting up the content so we're like, no, tanks, you got to pay attention to do tank shit here, and healers have to heal here. So it's not just DPS checks anymore. Now it's heal/tank checks where the two of them have to get through these mechanics, or you're not gonna get the DPS because everybody's gonna die. So
I feel sorry for the developers. Like Yoshi P has to be stressed because the community is the reason the stuff goes in that direction. They develop the meta every time.
Yeah.
And they kept, like, the whole time I played Final Fantasy, I started back when, cleric stance was an actual stance. You just stayed.
Yeah.
So I had a white mage, and I was killing it on the DPS front. Stone 3, Holy, and Cleric stands were absurd. Like, being able to wipe dungeon trash as a white mage is a feeling I still can't describe.
Yeah.
But they saw what was happening. They saw, okay, everybody's just like, they're finding phases in these boss fights where they don't have to heal, and they're just full-on DPSing. So they took Cleric stance away. And then they kept moving the healers towards being more raw healing instead of worrying about DPSing. So it was really the community's fault because they always, even though they were doing that, they kept finding ways and kept finding only certain parties to run where healers could still DPS. And that's why I was like, the community keeps kind of nudging them in this direction because I remember people complaining to me, they're changing the classes too much. I'm like, stop doing what you're not supposed to be doing. Follow your role.
Right.
Yeah, like
stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Trinity,
it's the same thing people complain about with Overwatch.
DPS. They didn't design it to be DPS.
Yeah. I was like, that's because y'all are playing tanks and healers like DPS. I was like, they're going to do that because they have to change the characters based on how y'all are playing them. I was like, y'all are playing it like that.
Now you have DPS having support abilities because they're like, if the tanks and the healers aren't going to support, we'll make the DPS start supporting.
Red mages and summoners. Red mages and summoners can both res because sometimes the healer ain't paying attention.
Yeah,
you need a DPS to res.
And not just that, but like monks have a heal booster. In their kit.
So and bards are just support DPS in general. That was the DPS I ran. I ran a bard.
Yeah. So like you got bards support DPS. You got you got two mages. You got two DPS that can res. You got a heal booster with your bard. Now all of the range people have a heal boost in their kit too. Now
let's not talk about the best class in the game, Dancer with this DPS crit boost. Best class in the game.
Yeah, like it's stuff like that pushes, like they literally saying we're gonna make everyone support because nobody wants to do it. So they put support abilities in everybody's kit so they can stop this mentality, and it's still going now because people just figure out, all right, you have to play the game the way that Square Enix wants you to play it and Yoshi P wants you to play it. But once you get some of this raid gear, you can stop doing that and play the way we want.
Exactly. You can play however you want. Like, and I always thought that was cool about unsynced modes. For dungeons, you didn't get experience for unsynced, but you still got the completion bonuses and stuff. So it was always nice to do that because you can just like barrel through a dungeon. Some low level ones, oh my gosh, you can go in there solo.
Yeah, it's fun to see like a paladin solo a raid or a dragoon doing that.
I soloed Titan on my paladin. Just because I could. I thought that was cool too. That was what attracted me to that MMO. The whole they're not called elementals, the fights with those gods or whatever, like Titan, Garuda.
The primals.
The primals, there we go. Thank you. Fights with the primals, man, and then Odin, man. My first experience with Odin was rough.
Odin I remember him wiping my whole server, it felt like.
Yeah, he was wiping everybody. When he first dropped, Odin was wiping everybody.
No, I mean, no bullshit. Like, Odin killed so many people in Flat 2.0 during this one time we were fighting him, and then, like, the server crashed, and it was hilarious.
That happened to us, except he didn't kill too many people, is when he showed up, and everybody showed up to kill him.
Yeah.
When he just like, oh, Odin's in this location. Everybody showed up, but then he did kill a lot of people. It slowed down, and then it crashed.
Yeah, it was hilarious. We were like, yo, he did Zantuscan and he killed the server. It was hilarious, bro.
Yeah, those server events are always funny. Like hunts, man. You see people coming for hunts. It's like the end. It's like the end of Avengers Endgame when they all came in through the portal. Hey, everybody shows up. If you shout out a hunt, everybody.
I think they need to bring more of that kind of stuff back. Like instead of just
that
doing
type of server events
raids,
was fun.
Yeah, instead of just more raids, make some fates.
Get some more fates and server bosses out there.
Yeah. Where you have to be out in the world with like 80 people that stand a chance, that'd be awesome.
And you got gear from those. Like you always got exclusive gear.
Yeah, and it was glamour gear, so people wanted it because it's like, yo, how do I get that? Oh man, I want that Odin armor from my Chocobo. How do I get that? Like, nah, you gotta kill Odin.
I had to run the Binding Coil of Bahamut, even though I was way past that point when I joined the game. So it wasn't required of me to do it, but I had to run the entire thing because I wanted the gear from it. So I had to run it all because I saw it. I was looking through a book of gear and I was like trying to figure out what glamour set I wanted. I was like, yo, this gear's fire. Where's this at? Binding Coil. This bitch.
See, when I first started up, I didn't even know anything about the glamour game. I was more about the fights. So it's just like when I got to certain bosses, I was like, oh, okay, I can do this forever. Like the Shiva fight, that was probably one of my favorite fights. Shiva, Susanna, I think Susanna, the one with Pure Forever Free.
Favorite primal. That was my favorite primal when he came out.
I'm gonna tell you one that was hard for me that had me pulling my hair out. Sophia Extreme. I was pushing that content. That's back when I was like running a guild, pushing content. Like we were running shit as soon as it came out. So like, man, Sophia Extreme, we were failing the DPS check basically. She was enraging. Yeah. We had the mechanics down, but we just didn't have, and DPS didn't want to hear that shit. Like DPS hated to hear that. We're running an instance, and it's like, yo, the boss is enraging. Like, we know what's happening, but ain't nobody gonna say it for at least 15 more runs. If the boss is enraging, only one thing is happening. We're not killing it fast enough. So then I'm like, yo, DPS check is failing. Like, we don't have enough DPS to do this. And then one of the DPS where if you were running warrior, I was like, I don't want to hear that shit. I'm not a DPS. You get your DPS game up. You running monk, but your positioning shit. It's trash.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so you're not even doing max DPS. I was like, we don't even have to use a parser to know that. I was like, but we're trying not, that's not how we play. I was like, we're not trying to point out a single person. We're just saying we're going to have to up our DPS. That's it. We're enraging here. But DPS hate hearing that. It's the healer's fault. I was dead for half the fight. Man, look, you were dead because you fucked up a mechanic. You weren't dead because the healer didn't res you. You were dead because you were standing in the AoE.
Yeah. True.
Sophia's tank buster was a problem too. If you didn't tank swap at the perfect moment, she'd kill your tank every time. And I was just like, man, Sophia caused me some problems. Sophia was not Sophia though. Shiva was super fun though.
I love the Shiva fight. Shiva fight is so fun.
The moment where you get frozen.
Yeah.
And
the snap.
She does the click. Yeah, the snap is just like.
I always do
everybody strikes a pose. Right?
I always do it. Yeah, I was about to say I always do a pose. Every time I know it's coming, I was like, strike a pose.
Everybody does. Everybody does. Because those fights have those moments where it's just like the music's gonna change. It kicks in. Titans was okay. Garuda's was okay. And then Rama's was okay. And Leviathan's once again was just okay. And then I got to Shiva and I'm like, this is a drop, goddammit. Right. I was like, this is a boss fight.
You didn't play Shadowbringers, did you, Nella?
I played some of it. I didn't finish.
Did you play the updated Titan? Is it Titan? Landslides?
Yeah, it's Titan.
Oh my gosh. That fight is so fun. You see so many people get set free.
Yeah. You can ask most of the guys in my Discord that play the game, and they will tell you. When 2.0 first launched, Titan was my bane. We were playing on the JP server. So
what class did you run?
I was a Dragoon too, so yeah.
You had jumps? You overwent.
There's the meeting right
Dragoon
there.
against Dragoons and Titan, is the funniest thing to watch. I swear, because they do the jump that returns you to where you were. They'll jump, and then he's crushing whatever area that is. They have to go back to. You hear them in voice chat panicking because they know what's coming.
So try doing that on a Japanese server because that's what we were at the time.
Gosh, that's funny.
Typically, Final Fantasy gives you this little leeway when you see the bar charging up when it's about 85 to 90%. If you're still moving the area, you're good. But if you at 90 or above, you're effed.
Yeah.
We were playing on the JP server, so I had to move in like 80% or I was fucked. And every single time I did a jump, landslides or fucking weight of the land, which is the AoE you're talking about where he crushes you, I got set free so many damn times in that damn game. To beat him, I had to literally just stop using jump until after that move came out, and then I could press jump.
So one of my friends
was away from the rotation.
When we fought him, and I told him, I was like, I'm buying that shit. I'm buying that.
You have to sit there and just be like, all right, F rotation shit. Yeah. Just wait till it's done. So I would sit there, fight. He would do a landslide. Then he would do a landslide. All right, he's stomping. I'm going to get hit no matter where I'm at. Now I can jump. So I can jump. And the healer's just got to heal me anyway. I had to literally rewire my fucking brain.
Paladins can cheat.
Rotation in order to pass that fight. It was that bad. And then they brought him back in Shadowbringers.
The monster truck rally. Sunday. That joke is so fun. Oh, yeah, 100%.
I gotta look this up.
Monster truck voices and how many times did we see? Like we went in there. I think our first time we went in was me, Tack, Tipsy, and a couple guys from my Discord, and we saw so many people get set free because we were doing it the first week it came out.
Oh yeah.
So there was no guides or none of that. You just had to know, and man, it was the most fun. Like that's how I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The discovery period of any game is the most fun, in my opinion, because that's when everybody's still learning.
The wacky stuff happens.
Yeah, we saw so many people get hit with that monster truck rally, and then just be set free by Gravedigger.
I wish I had been streaming back when I was doing Final Fantasy, or even recording, because we were fighting Titan. We were farming for horses. I wanted all the horses. So we were farming Titan for horses, and I'm like, we've done this so much, I've gotten to the point where I know when the ground's going to drop because of the music, blah, blah, blah. And as I was saying that, I was like, I know what phase we're in because of the music. I got this. I walked off the side.
Don't feel bad. I backflipped as a red mage off the side.
So when I walked off the side, and I'm paladin, so I've carried him to the edge, and then I walked off. And there's nothing but friends in here, like, so they all are in voice chat with me when I do this. I'm like, yeah, I know the music because oh shit. I haven't heard the end of that to this day. To this day, I haven't heard the end of that situation. And Tempered Will on Paladins makes it so you can't be pushed back. So if I would always keep it there, it was like on my quick bar. If he ever did that, if he ever did it and I couldn't escape it, and I saw I couldn't escape it, I'd pop Tempered Will. And a couple of friends didn't know what was happening. They'd see me in the AoE and they'd see him stomp, and they see me just not move while everybody else flew back. And they're like, wait, how are you doing that? And I was like, oh, Tempered Will, baby, you didn't know? Paladins don't have to get pushed back. We don't deal with CC. They were like, oh, that's cheating. I was like, no, we need this. I was like, and nobody else got Titan in their face. I was like, you know how hard it is to dodge all 5 of those pillars in Titan Extreme when you're right in front of him and they're together? I was like, you got to go out where they're spread out at. Like, y'all already out there. I was like, no, I need Tempered Will.
It's just always great knowing when your friends are about to die. You're just like, bye.
Yes. When you know, and you hear them too, because they know they're standing in it and they know it's coming. That happened more with what fight was that? It was one of the Alexander fight. It was like the little mech thing. Oh, what was it called? It was during the Alexander series of not raids, but
like Fist of the Father and all that stuff.
Yeah, Gordian knots and those. Like all of those have always been fun. Like you get a lot of laughs from people out of those, and they always require like some type of tank swap.
Yep.
So you get the tanks cussing each other out every time. I'm usually that guy.
Yeah, you need to look at the new Titan fight and the new Leviathan fight. Those fights, so many people just.
Oh man, I laughed. Leviathan, the first Leviathan had me in tears, bro.
Psycho crushers all day, bro.
Watching people slide down that thing when there are no edges and he pushes you with the water, man. Watching folks just slide to their death was like the best thing. It was the best thing ever.
That's how you know who did the extreme and who didn't when you're doing your story mode, your roulette trials. You go in.
Oh, yeah.
And
people
you see,
fall off.
And there's a gate. Yeah. No, there's a gate in the trial.
Oh, yeah, there's a gate.
Version, So, but the people who did the old one, they still run to the other side for fear of that.
Yeah, I do it. I still run. As soon as I see the water pillar come up, because they're like, how do you always know where to run before we do? I was like, yo, just listen. I was like, turn one direction. I was like, you don't have to see the water pillar. Because they would turn to look to see what side it was on.
Yeah.
I was like, just look on one side. If you see it, go to that side. If you don't see it, turn around. And I was like, just use the noise. And so they, even when I hear it, I just run. And they're like, yo, we're not an extreme, right? I'm like, I don't care. That habit.
Yeah, it's supposed to happen.
Right.
I was like, that's not a habit I want to kill off.
Memories of your death have trained you to not fucking stand on the wrong side.
Right.
Nidhogg taught me to stay out of AoEs probably better than any boss. No, not Nidhogg. Actually, Ozma. Ozma taught me to stay out of AoEs in the what raid was that?
Don't talk to Tack. He can't stand pizza slices.
Oh, I hate pizza slices with a passion. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy, dude.
What raid was that? Hold on.
So Red, we got on the tangent. Red asked, we all heard the story about Anthem and said they weren't allowed to look at other games during development. Do you think they learned from that mistake?
They better had. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and we talked about a bunch of people across the genre with that issue. So I would like to say I hope that not only they have learned from it, but just other people in general have learned from it. Like
I hope they have.
I hope that the guys over at Blizzard with Diablo have learned from watching the Exile steal their shit. I hope that people who make MOBAs have learned that, because there's been a lot of MOBAs that came out and they all died because they tried to reinvent the wheel, essentially, but not take what made the first wheel so damn awesome to begin with. And I thought that was a bad idea. Like, Battle Right was an awesome game, but when they came out, they tried to charge you $20 for a MOBA. You can't charge people $20 for a MOBA when League of Legends is free, when Dota 2 is free. Your genre is set to be free to play. You don't have to. I'm sorry, but you just have to. You can't. Freaking Steam, Valve, they made a trading card game. It's dead. I don't even remember the name of it now. I love trading card games. I never even played the game because they charge you like $30 up front to start playing a trading card game, but they didn't give you any packs or anything like that. You just got a starter deck. I'm like, you're out of your mind. It's a digital trading card game. And they tried to add in a bunch of new features. All these games did, but it doesn't matter because they got the base formula wrong.
Yeah,
you can't compete with Fortnite or Apex.
This is when I found it.
Like you can't compete with Fortnite or Apex Legends if you're in the battle royale genre. If you're gonna charge $60, unless your game is attached, your $60 battle royale is attached to a game that people would already pay $60 for, like Call of Duty did. Like people felt like they were paying $60 for Call of Duty, and then they got this battle royale mode attached to it. That's fine. But if you were to come up with a standalone battle royale and it's brand new, not attached to a franchise that people already like, and say I'm gonna charge you $60,
you can't do that. Keep playing Fortnite also say, I was gonna say Fortnite sitting there Apex like we free to play.
Exactly. I feel like that's where Battlerite went wrong. You can't charge people $20 to try out your new MOBA when they could just keep playing the old MOBAs for free with Smite, like I said, Dota 2, Dota 1, League of Legends. You know?
Like I feel like when League of Legends exists and Smite exists, you cannot drop a MOBA for money.
And people have done it. And that's
like
my point.
Like you have to have you gotta do it like League. It's gotta be cosmetics or buying champions. You can't just drop the game and like pay for the base game.
And that's what I'm getting at. Diablo is coming out and they're gonna charge you premium $60 package, and you know it. You can't charge me $60 and not do everything that Path to Exile does plus more. Or I'm just going to keep playing Path to Exile.
Because now we've been given that option.
Exactly. When Diablo 3 first came out, the very vanilla edition of it, there wasn't a lot of competition. It was either keep playing Diablo 2 or pick up Diablo 3. A lot of people said, fuck Diablo 3 and went back to 2.
They kept playing Diablo 2.
But now you got Wolcen, Lords of Darkness. You got Path to Exile for free. Wolcen is like a $20, $30 game, and it's really freaking good. You got there's just too many options now for me to go back and just play your specific thing and just give you $60 for Diablo. Even if I was willing to pay, there's plenty of ARPGs I can pay for and not have to pay $60 and still get a better experience than I would be getting if you just make it like vanilla Diablo 3. Don't get me wrong. I understand that current Diablo 3's made a lot of changes, but that was a whole expansion and a shit ton of updates later. They don't have that opportunity right now. Because if you fuck up, you got PoE 2 for free. And then for a lesser price, not free, but still lesser price, you got, like I said, Wolcen, Lords of Darkness. You got freaking, you got the entire Van Helsing series that's out there that people can go play. You got Torchlight 3 coming soon.
You have, what is it called? Hero Siege.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Hero Siege series. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's really popular too, and I feel bad that I can't remember the freaking name of it. But there's another ARPG series that I see a lot of people playing. What is its name? It's gonna drive me nuts now. But the point is, there's plenty of pay options that are either cheaper or outright free that you have as an alternative now. So they can't afford to make that same.
They can't hit you with a premium price of $60 on Diablo.
Yeah. 4. So Diablo 4. No, it's coming with a $60 price tag. It's got the Diablo attached to it and the name Blizzard attached to it.
I don't even think Overwatch started out as a $60 game.
Overwatch was like $30, $28-$30.
Yeah, but Overwatch was a brand new, like I said, Overwatch was a brand new franchise they were gambling on. They couldn't afford that. This is Diablo, the granddaddy of the ARPG.
It was still Blizzard. Like anything Blizzard puts out, people are gonna eat that shit up. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. So that's why they could put it out. That's why they could put it out for $30 instead of free, even though its main competition was what? True. Team Fortress, which was free.
Yeah,
that was their main competition. You can either keep playing Team Fortress for free, or you can give us money. $30 is a reasonable amount for an alternative to that. But if it was $60, it would have had a lot less adoption.
I think they're smarter than that. Like even with Heroes of the Storm, like they were trying to get into the MOBA scene. You didn't pay for Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think they might know how to. Like Blizzard has shown. I have my issues with Blizzard, but Blizzard has managed to show that they know how to navigate certain genres better than most other companies do.
Yeah, but they're
despite
also
their own.
Now they're Activision Blizzard, and that's the thing. Like we're talking about the Activision part, but they're Activision Blizzard now, and Activision knows how to fuck some shit up.
I mean, what is it? Warcraft
Reforged.
Latest when it came out.
Reforged.
Yeah. I brought that up last week, and now look at it. Still, he just laughing. It is for the whole week, and they still just laughing about it. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad situation, man. But
yeah.
How not?
Cannot do $60, and you know it's gonna cost $60 because it's Diablo. But Blizzard can't do $60 and not do everything that they need to do.
It better be feature heavy if they're gonna charge that. They're gonna put that type of price tag.
And the time frame has changed because, like you said earlier, you won't be pre-ordering the game. So what are you gonna do? You're probably gonna find your favorite ARPG streamer, tune in,
watch them play,
and watch some footage, and you're gonna get your own opinion from watching, their opinion from their experience, and you're gonna make your own. You're gonna formulate an idea in your head of what this game plays like, and should you invest in it or not. And between that, YouTube, it doesn't matter how much they put Diablo commercials on the internet or how many scrolling ads stalk you when you read your news articles on the internet or your phone or whatever. If that game looks like ass when you watch a streamer or a YouTuber play it, if that game plays like ass when you watch that, you're not going to get that game, no matter how much they spend on advertising it. So at the end of the day, for a hardcore or not even hardcore, just mid-core, quote unquote, gamer, though that's going to make every decision right there for them. And if you see this game and there's something about it you don't like, even if it's minor, so it can be something stupid. Like people in Marvel were complaining about Chun-Li's face, even though it's a fighting game, like when that first came out.
Mm.
So they had to
Chun-Li's supposed to be bad, though. Come on now.
I understand that, but look at her in Street Fighter 4 and then look at her in that. It wasn't too much of a difference.
I had complaints about that too.
But nobody bitched about how she looked in Street Fighter 4.
I did.
There wasn't a damn Twitter campaign to fucking have her redesigned like Sonic.
That's true. But I was complaining. About how everybody looked in 4.
When you see this game and you form your opinion, if you just consider yourself a legit gamer, not a casual, you're gonna be like, no, fuck this and move on and go play Path of Exile. Like I said, if Wolsten's does really good and you feel like you want to spend some money to play something besides Path of Exile in between seasons, you might pick up that game instead or add to it or whatever. But you can pick up there's a shit ton of options now besides that game, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. So that's terrifying. That's got to terrify them because they got to know.
Yeah, I hope it lights a fire.
This could be the end of Diablo. Diablo 4 could literally be their final Diablo game if they fuck this up.
Thanos is coming.
Because the name Blizzard won't be able to push a Diablo 5 if Diablo 4 sucks after.
No, they messed up too bad with the mobile game to like keep people there. Like that mobile game really hurt them.
So that's where we're at right now. And
Playboy stood up during the announcement. He's like, "Is this a joke?" That was funny.
Grim Dawn. That is the name of the ARPG I was trying to think of. It's fucking.
Okay, Grim Dawn. Okay.
Right.
Did y'all do alliance raids in Final Fantasy? Did y'all ever do those? The 24 meetings?
Yeah.
So did y'all do the Weeping City of Mach?
Yes, we did.
Weeping City of Mach was probably the raid I got more laughs from. It was frustrating because people always fucked it up when you had to fight that transmutative orb, Ozma, on that like circle bridge thing. And everybody had their areas.
And then he pulls you in.
People always mess that fight up. I wiped more on that fight more than any alliance raid than any alliance raid.
Oh man!
The final boss was easier than Ozma for us.
All right, so you got to go. You got to that one. So did you do the one after that where you fight against the guys from Final Fantasy Tactics?
Dunescape?
I'm not sure if it's.
I think you're talking about Dunescape.
No, not Dunescape.
Was it a Stormblood raid?
No, it's not Dunescape. I think it's a Stormblood raid, but it might be from. I'm pretty sure it's a Stormblood raid. It's the one where you have to fight against Thunder God Sid, and then you have to fight against the robot with the sniper rifle.
Oh, so I didn't do that one. I know I've watched it.
Okay,
so
you have to do those fights. They're amazing. there's this robot, and I'm not going to explain the mechanic, but he will snipe you. And if you don't do this mechanic, you will die from a headshot right then and there from this mechanic.
Oh my god! Y'all did the Alexander ones? Did y'all do any of those?
Oh yeah, we did those.
So the monkey juice, when you got to knock the bombs away, man.
Yep.
You got to turn into a bird or a monkey,
bro.
Man, I love those fights. I love those fights so much.
But
I was like, they need to do more stuff like this.
And hopefully they will. But I think we covered so much today, and I think this is good. I think this is a good stopping point for us before we get on a tangent and keep going. But where can the people find you at in the event that you're streaming or twittering or whatever you may do in your off time? Whoever wants to go first.
Okay, well, you can find me on Twitch. I'm gonna try to start streaming more. Yesterday was my first day back. I'm probably gonna be streaming in a little bit today, actually, because I know I got to start working tomorrow. So, but my name is Sleepyboy86 here on Twitch. On Twitter, you can find me at Sleepyboy713. I'm working on trying to get one of those swapped to match the other one, so it's one unified name. But yeah, that's where you can find me at right now, and I'll let you know when I get a YouTube thing going. For now, that's it though.
You can find me on YouTube at Nelatrey Gaming. I haven't uploaded it forever, but hopefully that'll change here really soon. You can find me on Twitter at Nelatrey Gaming, Instagram at Nelatrey. Let me see. And on Twitch and twitch.tv/Nelatrey Gaming. I guess that was important. Huh? So yeah, you can find me in all of those places. Yeah, throw me a follow. You can also just find me in the DMs. You know that works too.
Right.
Discord, all of that good stuff.
Right. And if you're watching on YouTube or potentially Spotify, we're still trying to work on that. You can catch the show live at twitch.tv/tagtv 2_. And we will see you all next week, and appreciate you being part of the show every week. And you all take care and have a great rest of your week. And we're out of here. Later, guys.
Take it easy, everybody.